Okay, I'm just going to go through all the exams that are 2025. Well, paper ones anyway. I know the junior cert is only one, but for the leaving cert it's paper ones. We're just going to see how they go. Um, as I said, sometimes I think it's better for you guys. You guys struggle with how to approach a question, how to start one. So I just thought it might be handy sometimes for you to look at a question that I'm seeing for the first time, because I have the four exams open here, but I haven't done them yet. Junior cert ordinary level, junior cert higher, and then the same with the leaving certs. I haven't looked at them yet. I don't know what's on them, so I just thought it might be handy for you guys to see how I would approach them from scratch. I didn't need to put my date of birth on this. I was just testing stuff before I actually started recording. That's all. I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time doing all the questions. I'm not going to necessarily explain all of the stuff. I'm just going to try to see how fast I can do it, as well as get just an idea of them, because I don't really want to spend too long doing it. Well, I'm going to spend a while doing it, but I don't want to spend as long as possible doing it. Because I'm seeing it for the first time, I might make mistakes. So, like in the leaving cert honors, I probably will. In the other ones, I might miss something or just not pay attention or miss like an extra bit to it. So, if there's a mistake, or if you think there's a mistake, investigate it yourself. Maybe ask me. Check the marking scheme online. Do all sorts. Just play it safe, because I am likely to mess something up here. Right, it's happened. It happens when I do stuff the first time. You guys are used to seeing me do questions before, that I've done plenty of times before. But let's see then. Okay, the junior cert ordinary level. I should have my calculator. Calculate the value of each of these. Yeah, I should have my calculator for this. Do I need my calculator for this though? Let's see. That would be 135. That one I don't want to do. 7.4 times 6.2. I think the last time when I did this, I spent too long talking about different things, and I'm going to try not do that this time. The square root of 9 by 7. Okay. Square root of 9 is 3, obviously, so that should be 12. Yeah, I forgot that part, weirdly. And I just have to move this. Yeah. The ages of jail, Alice and Paul are shown on the table locally today in 4 years' time. All right. That should be handy. Work out the mean age of them in 4 years' time. We'd add that together, we get 51 divided by 4. It's going to be 12.75, I think. Add them all together, divide by 3. Yeah, I divided by 4, didn't I? I divide by 3 Graham. It'd be 51 divided by 3 would be 17. I think that's... I fucked that up though, so I'm on edge. 17, 51 divided by 3, 71, or 17. I didn't think they could advertise stuff here. Noah buys 3 bars of chocolate at the shop. Each bar costs the same. He pays 20, gets 13.40 and change. So he gave them 6.60. So there was 3 of them. So each one is 2.20. That right? 3 of them, 6.60. I'm very nervous to fuck up the basics after getting that thing. Noah has 13.40. We know that. He divides the money between himself and his friend Amy in the ratio 3 to 2, respectively. How much does each person get? So you have to do 13.40 divided by 5. And that would be 268. Noah gets 3 of that, so Noah would get 4 0 8, and that means Amy would get 6 3 5. Add them together, you'd get 13.40. Yeah, so that's probably a good sign. Again, I can easily fuck up the numbers, as you see, so just be prepared if that might happen. The histogram, now this isn't going to be easy for me to do on my thing, but it's just going to be like this. 18 would be like here. These should all be straight lines, obviously. I just don't have a ruler on this. 16 and 24. Find the total who visited. 30, 46, 46, 78, maybe. It's a great number of customers who could have spent less than 15. It's the greatest number who spent less than 15. 30. Rectangular flag has a length of 100 and width of 60 is shown in the thing. Or get the area in centimeters squared. If you multiply them, so it'll be 6,000 centimeters squared. I can't remember, is that an actual flag? That must be an actual flag. The flag is a circle inside the rectangle. The radius of the circle is 21 centimeters. Work out the area of the circle and they give you the thing. So you just do pi 21 squared. Now, the nearest centimeter means I'm going to have to do this here. I typed it in wrong. Corrected nearest centimeter. So that would be 1385 centimeter. Well, near centimeter squared, I suppose, but no decimals. In a survey of 120 students at Harmony Haven School, 30 played sport, 20 played computer games, 48 play computer games. Okay, use the information. 30 played both. 18 going here. How many students played neither? 37. Of what student? 35 do sports. Not. Computer games. One student is picked at random from 120 who are surveyed. It's probably the student plays sport or computer games, but not both. That would be 35 and 18, so that would be 53. Alright, 53 out of 120. Play sport or computer games, but not both. I don't think I've seen them do that before. At least not at this level. One or the other, but not both of them. So you rule out the 30, yeah. Just seems odd to me. A sports shop sells 3 different things. Each brand comes with 4 different colours as shown. How many different choices of running shoe does the shop sell? It would be 3 by 4, which is 12. I think they wrote this weird. I don't like how they wrote that. Tom writes down a list of 5 numbers from smallest to biggest. 2 of these numbers. The mode of the 5 numbers is 2. So that means there has to be at least 2 2s. The median is 7 and the range is 12. If the range is 12, that means that has to be 14. And the median is 7, so that means that is 7. Yeah. In the question, each shape is a fixed value. Work out the thing. Okay. They're changing things around. I can't be too mad at them, I suppose. But that's just because I enjoyed this shit. Maybe it's not the best for going forward, but this is what they would use. They're using just shapes instead of letters, which is fine. Oh, okay, wow, okay. 11. 11 and 2. Okay. They're literally doing, that's algebra, just using shapes instead of letters. Maybe that's better for kids. I don't know. 8 numbers are given at the table below. Write down an even number. Okay. The lowest common multiple of 12 and 15. Is that anything to do with... It's just that so the lowest common multiple of 12 and 15 is 60, and it's that 60 is in the list. Is that it? Okay. Yeah, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Yeah, okay. The number 36 is 9 positive factors. 4 of these factors given below. It would be 4, 6, 9, 18, and 36. First 3 are shown. Each draw the pattern. Oh, God. Okay. So it would be just 7. Oh, I should go by the boxes here, shouldn't I? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ignore this. Thank you. Then here would have 3 down. Boom, boom. I don't think you'd need... Would you need these? I don't know. I guess you would. So I should draw them in. That's going to annoy me. I wasn't really expecting to do this as well, so my brain doesn't feel warmed up for it yet. Fill in the table to show the number of squares in each of the first patterns. So it was a 1, 4... Yeah, 1, 4, and we're adding on 3 each time, right? 1, 4, 7, 10 then. What kind of sequence is made by the numbers? Arithmetic or linear? Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. The reason, same difference each time. Okay. Alice gets €100 for her birthday and puts it in the bank account. She puts 25 in the bank account every month for 6 months. Work out how much she will have in the bank account at the end of the 6 months. 25 times 6 is 150, I think. And you add it to the 100 she already put in, right? Did I read that? Yeah, I think I read that. Alice puts 130 into the post saving. The annual interest rate is 3%. Okay, work out how much interest she gets in 1 year. So it would be 390. Okay, yeah. Work out the total amount of money after 1 year. Just 133.90. Alice put €120 on the credit union. The account earns this much. Okay, at the end of year 1 she had this much. So the interest was 456. Find the percentage. So we're going to do this. Mm-hmm. 3.8%, alright. If P is 2, that's 6. If Q is 11, that's 77, so that would be 83. We're going to multiply it and simplify. 10a minus 6 minus 4a plus 7. So that would be 6a plus 1. Did I do that right? Yeah. The doubts I'm having is crazy. Solve this. So it'd be 6y equals minus 12, so y is equal to minus 2. Factorize this shit. It's going to be x minus 7. And I did do that with one of the girls the other day, so that's good. Tanya draws the scale diagram of her garden as shown below. The diagram includes the shed and the flower bed. 1 centimeter is 0.5 meters. I'm assuming each, 1 centimeter on the diagram represents an actual distance of. But are we assuming each box is a centimeter? Is that what it was on the page? I think they should have said that. Did they say that? Were you supposed to measure it? I'm going to assume each box is 1 centimeter. But I think they should have mentioned that. Write down the distance marked on X. Give your answer in centimeters, hence find the actual distance. So it was 3 boxes, so I'm going to say 3 centimeters. If it was on the actual page, I might have measured it to make sure, but then this would be 1.5 meters. I didn't need that, I suppose, because they did M. Because each centimeter is a half of thing, yeah. Work out the actual perimeter of the flower bed. It would have been 3 and 2 and 3 and 2, which would have been 10 centimeters, but then it's 5 meters. Tiny also put a vegetable patch in the garden. The vegetable patch will be rectangular with a length of 3 and a width of 1.5. Okay. Okay. So that would be 6 and 3 in centimeters. Draw the vegetable patch in position on the diagram on the previous page so that it does not overlap. So 6 and 3. I suppose I'll go 3 across. That's supposed to be on the line. Don't judge me. Then we're going to go 6 up 2, 3. I don't know why the pen got out there. 4, 5, 6. Like this, right? That's supposed to be filled in, obviously. 1 centimeter is half a meter. So if we want 1.5, we need to do 3, and then we want 3 meters. So we need 6 centimeters, which I'm assuming again is 6 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's crazy how much I'm second guessing myself here. Tanya decides to plant cabbage in the vegetable patch. She reads that each cabbage needs a square space of 0.3 by 0.3. According to this, what's the maximum number of cabbages that Tanya should plant in this vegetable patch? Remember that they'll have a length of 3. So it means that, let's say the box is like this. This is 1.5 along the top, so she can fit 5 along this way, and down this way she can fit 10. So 50. Jail again. Okay, pizza. 1950, it arrives 45 minutes later. What time does the pizza arrive? That was so stupid, whatever, just wrote, ignore that. I tried to write the 8 o'clock and 20 at the same time. 20:35. Yeah. The pizza in the closed rectangular box with these dimensions. Work at the volume. Be 2800 centimeters cubed, because it's volume. Work out the surface area of the box. That's going to be a bitch. So it's going to be 200, and then it's going to be 224. Isn't that right? Because that would be 112 and then double it. And then it's going, oh my god, that's going to be 7,000 for the top, I guess. But doubled. So 14, I should say. 14. I forgot to multiply by 2. Because each 4 from there will make 100. So it means make 100. No, did I add an extra 0? My brain just isn't on. I added an extra 0. Ignore this shit. So yeah, 1400. I suppose I should check that I did. No, I don't really need to. But okay, so then we add all that together. We'd have all together. Add all these together. We get, I don't know, 1824. I should centimeter squared. Pizza costs €14. Limerick, same pizza costs £12 in London. The exchange rate is this. Work out which pizza is cheaper. So what I would do is I would find out how much the one is in the Irish one is in pounds. If €1 is this much, £14, or €14 is this much pounds. That's not the pound symbol. So which pizza is cheaper? The London one. Tig usually cycles 3 kilometers to football training. If it takes Tig 10 minutes to cycle to training, work out his average speed. So that's that silly triangle. So we did distance over time. Now the problem is, obviously they say kilometers per hour. I don't think people would have spotted that. So instead of putting 3 over 10, you're supposed to put 3 over 1 over 6, which would be 18 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I don't think people would spot that. Instead of in ordinary level, they were going to spot 10. You can't use 10 because that's minutes. Not right, 10 minutes. They want hours, so you have to change the hours. It's 1/6 of an hour. How long was Tig away from home in total? So the distance from home. So when he was 0, okay, 110 minutes. I should do this. How long was he at training though? Was from 10 to 90, so 80 minutes. Give your answer in hours though. 1 hour and 20 minutes. Was Tig quicker cycling to training on the way home from training? Using the graph, he was quicker going to training. Shorter time, 10 minutes versus 20 minutes. If I remember, I'm going to check that now in a second. He traveled the same distance, but one just was spread over longer time, right? 10 minutes, 20 minutes, from 90 to 110, yeah. First and second year students train together. Each year is divided into 2 teams, the red team and the blue team. The table below shows this. There's 60 students. 1 student is picked around. What's the probability the student is the first year on the red team? Be 18 over, now there's 60 they said, okay. So that's at 3 over 10. What's the probability student is on the blue team? Blue is 32 over 60. Which is 8 over 15, I think. Points A and B are shown on this, right in the coordinates. A would be 3, 2. B would be 3 and minus 1. Right then the length from A to B would be 3. Point C is minus 4 and 2, so it'll be here. You do need to label it or else they lose their mind. Minus 4 and 2. Right, work out the slope B to C. So that's just the slope formula of B to C. Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. So B to C we'd have to do minus 1 minus 2 over 3 minus 4, which would be minus 3 over 7. Give your answer as a fraction. Well, that's nice. Do that right? B to C, minus 1 minus 2, 3 minus 4. Yep. The diagram below shows the triangle. The angle P is marked an X. Which is the following is correct? We'd use tan because it's opposite over adjacent. Hence, use your calculator to find the size of this. So we'd say tan inverse of a half. I'm in radians. That's I don't know how to change it on this one. Ugh. Finkel. My calculator's in German. Okay. Degrees are Gradma or something in German, I guess. Okay. I'm learning. So give your answer correct. Nearest degree would be 27. Okay. So that's okay. So how do I do this now? Okay. Yeah, okay. I thought there was a few difficult things in there. There's a few nice things though. They've changed a couple of things around. I kind of enjoyed the fact they changed the algebra to use shapes instead of instead of letters. That might be okay for people. People might prefer it that way. As a maths purist, you might not like it because it makes you kind of think, wait a second, it's not like the proper way for years we've been doing it. But if it makes it easier for the everyday person, it might be better. Although drawing shapes and colouring them in and stuff would just be an issue if you were to do a lot of maths. But if people don't need to do a lot of maths, maybe. I'm still not okay with the idea of emojis though. Okay, we'll see how this goes. Junior Cert Honours level. Oh, they use the same picture, you guys. A sports shop sells 3 different things. How many different choices do they have? Because they put in sizes this time. So it's still going to be 3 by 4 is 12, but by another 4 is 48. I don't have the pen on the thing. 48. A pair of running shoes normally cost 140 in the sale. They cost 93.80. Work out the percentage discount on the sales. We need to do the discount, which is 46.20, over the original amount, and then multiply it by 100. There's a quicker way of doing that, and I just didn't do it. It's 33, and that would be nice, because if you get a whole number, people generally feel like they're doing the right thing. Right then the next thing, if they're in each of the following, in a linear, so you're adding on 4 each time. Tripling, I've never seen them do that for junior cert. That'd be 108, so it would be 324. Quadratic means that the second differences are the same, so this from here to here is 7. From here to here is 4. They went backwards. That's dodgy now. 7, 4, then 1, then minus 2. Alright. I haven't seen them do that in the junior cert one before. Okay, yeah, interesting. They're changing things up and they're using shapes again. Although this is a sequence more so than algebra. Amy makes a sequence using colour blocks. The first 7 are shown below. The pattern repeats every 4. Red, red, blue, green, red, red, blue, green. So the 8th would be, yeah, there's 7. So 8 would be green, 9 would be red, 10 would be red. Amy picks one block at random from the first 25. What is the probability the block is red? So that's kind of a dick move, right? Because some people, I'd say in junior cert, probably have to draw it all out. But there's going to be 6 repeats and then 1 extra red. So that means there's going to be 6, 2 red. So it's going to be 12 and 1 extra. So 13 out of the first 25. May decides to paint her living room. She needs supplies to carry it to work. Someone to do the work. She makes an estimate of... Okay, this is what they're trying to do. Trying to make it real life. I don't know how I feel about this, but that's just because I'm a maths guy and I just kind of enjoy doing maths. So I understand that I'm obviously going to be a bit biased in this one. But look, I'm just a guy. Come on now. Multiply by 1. Come on now. 120 a day by 3.5 is going to be 420. Blaze. I suppose you could always add those numbers and check. I might do that in a second. Well, that I'm going to have to do now. So 127.5 plus 13.98 plus 33.8 plus 420. 595.28 by 13.5. Where's percent on mine? Yeah. 80.36, I guess. There's an extra decimal there, which is weird. I guess there's no problem with them doing it. It's just weird. And then we'd add that to the other guy to get the total, which would be 675.64. I did that. Nerd. Work out the missing value labeled E, which is what I did. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, they actually elaborated on that. Okay, fine. Work out the missing value in F. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, they answered my questions later on. My bad, guys. Art. Only, so there's a 34, there's a 37. So 34 and a 37. So that's done and done. Fours. There's 1 here, 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 here. So it's that 6, 7, 7, 9. This is, I don't. People will tick off the numbers. I don't advise it just because you can't read them afterwards. 0, 1, 2, 4. And then there's a 62 and a 71. Yeah, and then business. Is there any 3s? No. Is there any 4s? No. 5s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5s would be a 2, a 3, a 4, a 9, and a 9. I'm kind of enjoying this, and the rest are 6s, I think. Okay, so that's going to be a pain, but 64, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, I think. 64, 65, 66, 67, 67, 68, 69. Yep. Okay. Based on the shape of stem, leave, write a sentence compared to students. Better in business, higher grades. So they said you should refer to how well the students did on average, which is kind of what I did, and to how spread out the marks are. More spread in art though, so they wanted 2 parts there. More spread though in art, because you notice in business they were only in the 50s and 60s. More spread in art, I forgot to write that bit. But in art, while the graph is like a shape kind of like this, whereas this one is more like this, is what they're trying to get across to you. Work out the range for business. 52 to 69 is 17. Michael is one of the 12 students. He sits the business test again and gets a higher mark than the first time he took the test. Oh, excuse me. When the teacher uses Michael's new mark and works out the range does not change. He's okay. Explaining this could happen. He's still not the highest. He got higher than his original, but he's still not the. He's still not the highest. And he wasn't the lowest. I should have also said that too. That is something else that is technically correct. Still not the highest, wasn't lowest. So neither the highest or the lowest ones changed when his score changed. So he wasn't the lowest, because if his score changed, the lowest would change. Actually, there is a situation. The gap between him. Could you have a situation where the gap between him and the highest is the same as the gap between the second lowest and his new score? I'll just say this is how it could happen. Sits the business test. He's one of the 12 students. He sits the business test again. Gets a high mark than the first time he took the test. The teacher uses Michael's new work and works out the ranges. Yeah, because like he could have gotten 59 and now he got 60. So instead of here, he's still here. The range is still 52 to 69. Yeah, there is still a different one I want to talk about, but not right now. The 13th student, Ajani, was absent for the 2 tests on Monday. He sits the test the following day. Work out when his mark is included, the average mark in art increases from 50 to 51. So there are 12 students. If the average of them was 50, that means that in total they got 12 by 50, which is 600, right? But what happened was they did 600 plus your man's score and divided it by 13, and now they got 51. So that means 13 times 51 is the new thing, which is 606. Oh, and I'm fucking this up. 13 by 50 is 650. and then another 13 is 663. I'm just going to write, I don't feel confident at the moment, so I'm just going to multiply it out. Just make sure I was right. I should be confident. Have a look at that. Well, that's 600 plus x. So therefore 63 is what a Johnny got. Congrats, brother. Isn't that right? The mean was 50. 50 times 12, 600. So that means there's an extra 1x divided by 13 this time to get the average. And I got 51. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Points are here. Work out the things. So A is going to be 3 and minus 2. C is going to be 0 and 1. People are going to be happy about that. Okay. B, D, and E are 3 more points. Okay, 4, 3. Why did they put B separate? Now that's just annoying me. Just for my own reasons. A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. Use this information to plot and label the point D on the diagram in the previous one. Okay, maybe that's why they wanted you to do it. So, so to get from A to B, we went across 1 and up 5. So I should say we went down 5 and left 1. So here we're going to go down 5 and left 1. So this should be D. And that would be going 1, 2, 3, 4 and up 2. This would be going 1, 2, 3, 4 and up 2. Yep, so D is minus 1 minus 4. The point C is the midpoint of the line segment AE. Hold on, wait a second. C is the midpoint of AE, so that's fucked that they would do that. But it's going to be here, so it's going to be minus 3 and 4, I think. Now, into 3, I can't really do this one on the thing, but I'll draw out the construction. Into 3 equal lengths, you have to draw a line like this. And it has to be a straight line. Then you get your compass, you put the pointy end in here, do a little arc here. Doesn't matter how long, but you keep the compass the same length. Pointy end in here, do the same arc. Pointy end in here, do the same arc. Use a ruler to join here to here with a straight line. And then using parallel lines, go from here to here and here to here, and that should work. Yeah, it kind of looks like this. The diagram below shows a triangle ABC. The points D and E are on AB, and the points F and G are on thing. So that D, F, E, G, and B, C are parallel. All right. So this is angles are given. Work out the size of the angles. So X has to be 72, but that means that Y has to be 70. No, I've added them wrong. 72 and 28 would be 100. Y has to be 80. I said it was 110 in my head. Yeah, so that Y is 80. Yeah. Z would have to be 108 because this one is also 72. Yeah. Explain why the triangles are similar but not congruent. ABC, ADF. I guess they just wanted you to say same angles. But I don't know. I think you'd have to say because of the F shape corresponding. Technically, because that's how we know that they're the same angles, corresponding angles, the F shape, whatever way that makes sense to you. Because of the parallel lines, the fact I mentioned the parallel lines was essential. Not congruent, just because they're not the same size. Congruent means identical, not same size. The same triangles are shown again below. This time the lengths are shown. 10, 10, 10, 14.3. Using similar triangles, work out G to E. Well, this would be 20 and this would be 30. Yeah, so we'd have like 14.3 over X is equal to 30 over 20 is how I would do it. Big over small equals big over small, and then make algebra out of it. So it'll be 286 is equal to 30x. Is that right? And then we divide both sides by 30, which would be 9.52. I think. 286 divided by 30. 9.53. I'm such a failure. I don't know what I did. 9.5. Now that doesn't look right because it doesn't say the decimal places, so I fucked up some numbers somewhere. 30, that's G to E is definitely this one, so that's 30, and that's 20. And this is 14.3, and that's something else. Did I multiply wrong? Normally, you see, I'm getting a weird decimal. Normally, they tell you how many decimal places to do it to. But they didn't here. Well, what I'm getting is, as a fraction, I'll do it. The 143 over 15 is what x is. Normally, as I said, they do that, so I must have messed something up. There's no... Well, unless... That's what I had to do. Big over small is 30 over 20. Okay, Okay. I think they left a bit out that they should have done, but it's not... It's okay. I just don't think they should have done that. If I'm right, I'm convinced I fucked up some number somewhere, and I just can't see it in the moment. Is more so the issue, because it is a junior cert. I don't think they'd fuck it up like that. But, one of the sisters just texted me to say she hates Jacob and his kayak. I don't know what that means yet. I'm going to wait until I look at the exam. But we'll see. Okay, well, that's what I'm going with. I can't quite see in the moment what I've done wrong. 30, 20, 14.3, x, big over small equals big over small is my preferred way. Some people do it a different way. I'm just trying to check. Yeah, no, I think I'm right, but it just seems not done to the way that they normally will do a state exam. Normally, if there's a decimal like that, they tell you what format they wanted, but I don't think they did that. One section of a golf course shown in the diagram below is the shape of a rectangle with a semicircle at the end. Shapes width of 50, total length of 300 as shown. We get the distances marked x and y. So x would be 25, x is the radius, so that makes sense. And then y would have to be 275. Hence work out the total area of the section of the golf course. Give your answer correct nearest thing. So, oh god, it's going to be 50 times 275. I'll just bite the bullet and do it in the calculator. Oh, just admit defeat. So the rectangle would be 13750. Because it's 50 by... Yeah, 275. And then the other one, the area of a circle is pi or squared. So it's going to be pi 25 squared, but I have to divide it by 2 because it's only a semicircle. So it's going to be 25 squared. Now I wrote that backwards. Divided by 2. Excuse me, the nearest whole number is 982 because it says nearest meter squared, and I add that to the 13750. And the final answer would be 14732 meters squared. I don't know if they really care about that, but it's better to write it in if you can remember. I do not know how to pronounce that name, I'm sorry. It's spreading fertilizer on the whole golf course. The packet of fertilizer has to use these instructions. Use 6 litres of fertilizer for every 250 meters squared. She needs to cover this much fertilizer. How many litres of fertilizer will I need to do? So we'd have to do 809,371 and divide it by 250, and then multiply by 6. Yes. Now the thing. Oh, it rounds up anyway. Okay. 19425. Is that right? That seems crazy that they'd make you do that. I suppose some people might do 250 divided by 6 to find out how much each 1 litre would cover, and then do 809,371 divided by that number. Yeah, you still get 19,425 litres. Alright. Weird, but we'll go with it. The fertilizer made up of 3 ingredients, the following ratio. Work out the number of millimetres of B in 1 litre. So, what I would do is I change the ratios here. I'd multiply the whole thing by 6. So I get 6, 9, 10. And I'd add them together. And when you add them together, you get 25. And then in a litre, there's 1,000 millilitres. So I would do 1,000 divided by 25, which is 40. I don't know why I wrote all of that outside of the box. I should have written it in the box. So that would be 40. So then it would be 360 millilitres for B. Tank for spreading fertilizer. Jeez, they're all about the tank for spreading fertilizer in the shape of a cylinder. The radius of the tank is 90 centimeters and its length is 4 meters as shown. Work out the volume of the tank. Volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h, which is, now they said meters, so you'd have to change the 90. A lot of people probably just put in the 90. I don't know how to feel about things like that, because they do things like that which you need to know, but it always strikes me more of a case of they're trying to catch people out rather than actually like testing people's knowledge. They're trying to be like, you know, we got you. Correct 2 decimal places, 10.18. Cubed, my apologies, pi r squared h, that's the right one, isn't it? Change to 0.9, did the thing. Okay, the diagram on the right shows a different one, and it gives you the answer, right? So the length is 3 times that of the thing. Now they say length, but we would consider that to be the height. So we're saying the height is 3 times r. So that means in the formula of pi r squared, pi r squared h, we can write that as pi r squared 3r, which would be 3 pi r cubed, and we can say that's equal to 81 pi over 125. The pi's cancel. Divide both sides by 3, we don't put r cubed is equal to 27 over 125. We get the cubed root of that, and I put r is equal to 3 over 5, or 0.8 of a meter, or 0.6 of a meter. How dare I? I do apologize. Cos A is equal to 0.2 with the size of the angle A. So we just do cos inverse of 0.27. Correct nearest degree is 74 degrees. Olga would like to know the vertical height h. Oh, okay. Olga takes the following measurement, show them the thing. 22, 29, the 23 is there, and the 90 is also there, so that's fine. It's all in there. Use trigonometry to work out the vertical height of h. This was probably just more annoying than anything, because we had to find the height from B to C and then the height from B to D using tan, right? So you would have had to do opposite over adjacent. So it would have been, it would have been 23 tan of 29 to get the big one. I'm just going to do 20 tan to get the big one, and 23 tan of 22 to get the small one, and then minus them. So I'm just going to write that in one go just to save myself the bother. Now I almost fucked it up because I'm trying to write it in a better way, so I'm actually fucking myself. Correct to 1 decimal place is be 3.5 meters, I'm assuming. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Theo records the temperature in her kitchen at 8 degrees Celsius over 10 hours. TX is the temperature X hours after Fee starts recording it. Yup. PQ and R, use the information on the graph. Estimate how long it takes for the temperature to reach 20 degrees for the first time. So, okay, now, show your work in your graph. I said this to them yesterday. I'm hoping that they kind of copped. You need to go across from 20, the temperature section, until you hit here, and then draw down. Give your answer in hours correct to 1 decimal place. Maybe 2.8 hours, perhaps 2.9. They always give you within reason. So, and my graph is, as you can see, my lines are a bit wobbly. They'd want you to use a ruler. For how many hours does the temperature remain constant? Well, from 3 till 7, so we'd say 4. Yeah. Section S of the graph goes from 8 to 10. It does. Where T8 is 15, that is true. During section S of the graph, the rate of change of temperature is +3 every hour. Use this to draw the graph. So it goes up 3 every hour, so it has to go up to 18 and then go up to 21 again. Should be a straight line because it's linear by the sounds of things. Oh god, okay. So this one has to be q because it's a constant. This one has to be p because it's a quadratic, and this one has to be or because it's linear. I'm assuming they did it in alphabetical order. Yeah, p, q, or. Which of the following functions gave the temperature in section S in the one that I was doing? It would be this one. Why? Because hold on. Actually, I just assumed something. So it's not this one because that has a minus slope. Yeah, I was right with my choice, but the explanation I would give is because of its y value. Is that what they were going for? Or were they saying compare it to the other one? No. Y-intercept would be a minus by the looks of it. You could perhaps... I suppose what you could probably do is just take one of these points and sub it in. You could take, like, for example, the point 9, 18, sub it in and just make sure that that all works for whatever you did. So if I subbed in 9, I'd get 27, take away 9, which is 18. Yeah, okay, you could do that as well. Remember that the graph shows the temperature. The temperature in our bedroom is always 3 degrees less. Draw a graph to show the temperature for the first 8 hours. So I don't care about the last bit, that's okay. So if it's 3 less, it's literally just going to be all the same stuff, but just one box lower down. And you're just going to have to mimic what it was before. Perfect. No, not perfect. Obviously, you don't have to give that a bit more time. 88 students debating and chess. They really split up the honours and ordinary. In total, there are 40 students in the debating club. There are 37 students in neither. Okay, fill in the missing value. Well, if there's 88, do we know? There's 40 in debating. Sorry, we know that. 40 minus x. Hence, we'd always work out the value of x. Well, what we'd say is that would be 78 plus 2x. X is 5, I think. So that would be 35, 5 would be 40. 40 and 11 and 37 would be 88. Yeah. Michael's in the set D/C. What information does it give about the clubs that Michael is in? He's in debating, but not in chess. Like the cool kids. Simplify this. I did this with them yesterday. I hope to God they were listening. 5x minus 7 plus, now I've fucked that up, 3x x. Oh no, I'm being stupid. That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. Okay, I'm hoping they don't make the same. They probably made the same mistake that I did, where I just assumed 4 parts meant graph. It didn't say factorize though. It says simplify, obviously. Okay, long division I didn't do with them yesterday because there was no time. So we do x plus 3. So we'd say x squared, x cubed, 6x squared, but we changed them both. 5x squared plus 15x, 5x, be 5x squared. Hold on, I fucked this up something fierce somehow. Would have been x squared. That should be a 3. That was silly of me. So that wouldn't have been a 5. That would have been an 8. Which means that would have been an 8. Which means that would have been an 8. Which means this would have been a 24x. But we're going to change the sign. So it's going to be minus minus. They cancel. That's going to be minus 9. Which makes sense because this is minus 27. And that means that'll be minus 9. That'll be minus 9x minus 27. We changed our signs. Boom, boom, 0. And that's your answer. X squared plus 8x minus 9. Function fx is this. Complete the table below showing the values for fx at given values. Oh, just table mode. Alright. That would be 2. Yeah. That would be... Give your answers correct to 2 decimal places where appropriate. Okay, that is range, but the table mode I suppose will carry them for that. So that would be 0.67 to 2 decimal places. Maybe that caught a few people out. That would be 6. 2 over 6 would be 1 over 3. That would be 0.33. Use your values to start a graph. I did technically go through this with some of them. It's whether they were listening. Or whether... 2... 1, 0.677 would be like there. A half, 0.4 would be like here, and 0.333 would be like here. And you have to try draw it in a way that it looks like a curve. No corners, no, oh fuck, it's supposed to go through that. Don't judge me. I'm not drawing directly onto the screen, so I can't really see where I'm going with this. Solve this shit. I'm going to multiply the bottom line by minus 4. So that'd be minus 8, so it'd be minus 5x, minus 72, minus 43. Not 72. You're so stupid. Minus 36. It's not better. It's not that much better. Because that would be minus 8. Minus 3, that would cancel. We have minus 36. So we end up with minus 36, minus 7. So x is equal to 7 over 5. And if we put that back into, it doesn't really matter, they're both shit. If we put that back in here, double it, we get 14 over 5. We make minus 14 over 5. 45 minus 14 would be 31 over 5. Y is equal to 31 over 5, maybe? Now, those are my answers, but I'm going to check based on... They're weird for junior cert. Maybe they would have done decimals. The junior cert kids. Maybe. Okay. So that's, I think they're right. If you use decimals, they're fine, I suppose. All lengths are in centimeters. Diagram shows below. Okay. Width is W. Length is L. 12, 18. Thing is AX. The length of the frame is 18 minus 2x. Right, the width of the frame in terms of things. Okay, so I kind of told you, though, no? How to do it? I suppose that's normally a question I'd ask in... I shouldn't have written W, sorry. I should have written 12, sorry. But it's kind of a question I normally do in leaving cert ordinary level, but they wouldn't really tell you. They wouldn't give you a hint. Hence, show that the volume, or the area length by width is this. You just multiply them together, because the length by width for... It even tells you, okay. This wasn't too bad. They've kind of gone back to the ordinary, not the ordinary as in like ordinary level, but like the older style. 18 by 12 is 316, right? No, 200. I knew something was wrong. Now I'm going to have to do it because I'm being stupid. 216 plus 36x plus 24x plus 4x squared. And then you just combine those two together to get 60x. Perfect. It's equal to 648 though, so we can do 4x squared plus 60x plus 216 equals 648. Oh, I have my fears about what the others were doing today. 4x squared plus 60x. And that would be minus 432 equals 0. I'm going to divide all them by 4. Not that it matters, you just use the minus b anyway. So 108. So now I'd have minus 15 plus the square root of 5 minus 4 bracket minus 108 over here. So I'm getting x equals to 5.3. Now it says answer singular because I'm assuming when I put in the minus, yeah, I get a minus answer. So I'd be getting x equal to minus 20.3, but we can't have that because you can't have a minus distance. Let me just check though, because I've gotten things wrong right now. We'll see. Oh, okay. All right then. So yeah, I kind of thought it was decent enough. It was going back to like the old times where the junior cert they changed it after COVID, but I don't think that it worked as they wanted it to. So they're slowly, I feel, regressing back to the older junior cert, which is kind of what I prefer. In recent years, they were kind of more so going towards just giving people some random looking fucking graphs and just be like, hey guys, do you know what's going on? But that wasn't really, you can't study for that. You can't really, or maybe you can, but they never really changed the course to accommodate that. So it was really just, yeah, that's much like an older one actually. That's crazy. I'm super for it. I'm super for it. Um, yeah, perfect. They did too much crap in the past where they would just give a weird graph and people just did not know what it was trying to get at because it's a graph they'd never seen before. Yeah, perfect. All of that. Yeah. Now, do I still have problems with how they teach junior cert? Yeah, but that's not. I'm just a guy, you know. I'm sure they kind of have a better idea, but I do think there's some flaws in the system. That's all. Um, okay, I'm gonna have a look at the ordinary level for leaving cert now. Um, the last time I did this though, I gave myself a migraine, so I just want to kind of just take a moment. Okay, one of the ordinary levels in leaving cert just texted to say that she really found it handy, paper one anyway, for the ordinary level. This is honours, so I want to do the ordinary next. She said graph work stuff came up and it was good. It really seemed happy with it, so that's good. We'll see how it goes here. So I'm gonna hit this ordinary level maths. Let's see then if I do this cool. Sean is buying a power bank. That's the wrong thing. What do I need? Do I need to hit this? Not that much, maybe. Yeah, not that much. One power bank costs €30 before VAT was added on. What's it afterwards? So I'm going to do 30 multiplied by 1.23. And I'm going to get 36.90. I don't have the pen on again. 36.90. Sean has gone to buy a different power bank that costs 26 and the USB cable that costs 9. Sean sees a special offer to buy the power bank and the USB together for 28. We're get the percentage discount of this, so it would have cost him 35. But he's saving €7, so it's 20%. Yeah. Mairead and Dermot on the window cleaning business. Mairead can clean a standard window in 9. Dermot can do it in 12. They start cleaning standard windows at the same time. They don't finish cleaning a window at the same time. Oh, after how many minutes will this happen? Be a common multiple, right? So common multiple of 9 and 12. 72. 36. 36 works. After how many minutes will this happen? 36. Yeah. Dermot will have done 3, Mairead will be on her 4th, but they'll finish at the same time. Building is 35. Work out how long it would take to clean the 35 windows if they work together. So, oh god, let me think. Okay. So for every 3 he does, she does 4. So we could say it's like in a ratio of 3 to 4, which would be 7, which would mean you need to do 5 lots of it. So that means that Mairead would have to do 20 and she does 9 each, so that would be 3 hours. Because in 3 hours that'd be 180. Let me just check. 180 divided by 9 would be 20. 180 divided by 12. Why did I say 12? That's not. 180 divided by 12 would be 15. 180 divided by 9 would be 20. 20 and 15 is 35. Yeah, that's a good one. Job's a good one. Okay. Complex numbers shown as a plot and label Z2. Be 2 plus 3i. And I need to put in Z2. 4 minus I, I put in Z3. We get the modulus of Z1. That is going to be this. It's going to be square root of 5, right? It's going to be square root of 5. It's going to be 1 squared, 2 squared, added together, 5 in a square root. Yeah, Z4 is this complex number. its modulus is less than z1, write down one possible value of z4. We could even just do -1 plus 1i. Or just I. U and V are two complex numbers, right? U and V. I did this with them yesterday. Oh my fucking god. Thank fuck. Just making sure I'm still actually recording. Everything's still working. We have to multiply everything by the conjugate of the denominator. I'll do an equals, of course. That would be 4 minus 6i minus 4i. And that's going to be plus 6i squared, or minus 6. Yeah. And down here it's going to be 2. And that's going to be minus 2 minus 10i over 2, which would be minus 1 minus 5i. That seemed too quick. I must have fucked something up. 4 minus 6 minus 4i plus 6i squared. That. Okay, I think so. I think we're chill. Ricky's buying protein bars. Yes, let's go. The cost of a single protein bar is $3.30. Shop is the following thing: 3 for 2 or 12 for 30. Is that right? 12 for 30? 12 pack of the same bar. Alright. Which offer is cheaper per bar? Well, this would be 3 for $6.60, so that'd be $2.20 each for A. And then for B, it would be 30 divided by 12, we'll say. Which would be 5 over 2, so $2.50, we'll say. So I'm going to go with offer A. It's cheaper per bar. Per bar. Solve this inequality. I did this with some of them as well. So that would be minus 4x is greater than or equal to minus 12. Yeah, and then we're going to end up dividing both sides by minus, so we'd end up with x is less than or equal to 3. K and t are multiplied together and getting 12. Write down a possible value of k and a corresponding value of t. We could say 3 and 4. Use your values for k and t from above to find the value of b in the equation below. For me, it would be minus 7, I think. Solve this crap. It would be 3a is equal to 10. They're doing weird stuff where they're making it fractions and decimals and stuff. I don't know how I feel about that. Because it's fine, like mathematically it's fine and I like it, but I think they've just sprung it on people. I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I just feel like... Well, did I fuck this up? Actually, that's what I'm checking here. I did fuck it up. I did. That's probably what it is. That'd be 5a, that'd be 3a, that'd be minus 15, that'd be plus 15, so that'd be 22. Still going to be a fraction, though? 15 and 7 is 22. So it's going to be 22 over 3. I forgot to multiply something, so... 65 over 3. Yeah, okay, so 22 over 3. Jesus, I did this with them yesterday. Oh my god, oh my god. It's perfectly on point. They could have still fucked it up, but okay. Hence find the slope of this, so we just sub in 2 everywhere. So that would be 4. If they were listening yesterday, this could have gone quite well. Just by luck. I know I was kind of saying it's class, but it was just pure luck. 412, that would also be minus 12, that would be 4. Yeah, I think that's right. After me giving it, I'm just excited that it actually worked out nicely. Now this one they probably aren't going to get, but that's okay. This is difficult for ordinary level. When is the slope less than 0 at Q? When is it equal to 0 at P? When is it greater than 0 at OR? For the point that you matched for equal to 0, give a reason. You could say it's a max, you could say that it's at a horizontal, the tangent to it would be horizontal. It's fine, use algebra to solve this. I double the whole top line and then I get 7x is equal to 21, so x is equal to 3. But if x is equal to 3, y would be equal to 1. Yeah. Solve the following, correct the two decimal places. You just have to do the minus b. If it says decimal places, there's no way. Unless if you're the type of person who could do this without using the minus b, you don't need to be listening to this. I keep typing the wrong things. What is going on? What is going on indeed? Having a stroke. Correct two decimal places, so we could say x is equal to 1.54, and then the other version when we do a minus, we would say minus 0.8. Now, I'm not writing a lot of the steps because I want to spend ages doing stuff that I know. Do not do this when you're doing it. Write everything down, because otherwise you'll get fucked. And it's just that I've done, I do this all day, every day. I'm just tired of it, so don't write the answers the way I'm writing. Put a bit more English on it as well if you're looking at the ones that I'm writing English for. Graph it is shown, not to scale. It's symmetrical about a vertical line. 'Tis indeed. Based on the graph, which of the following pairs of x is a possible set of roots? Well, one has to be a minus, one has to be a plus. The plus has to be like roughly 3 or 4 times the size of the minus one. So I would say this one. Yeah, minus 2 and 8. Maybe that's what she was talking about. The graphs find the value of x at which hx is a maximum. I'm assuming it's based on this, and it'll just be halfway. So what do we say? X is equal to 3. Because they're both 5 away from 3. Okay. Weird for ordinary level that they'd ask that, but again, they kind of throw in things like that just to throw people off. Tara buys a coat for 90, she then sells the coat for a profit of 25%, find the selling price. So we divide that by 4, would be 12.50, so she sells it for 102.50. I've done something wrong. It should be 100 because I should have said 22.50 is what I meant to say. It was a quarter of it. Then we add that on. Yeah. The margin of the coat is the profit as a percentage of selling price, so we have to put the profit, which is 22.50, over the selling price, which is 112.50, and then okay, write down the profit, 22.50. Apparently the margin is 20%. Who knew? Who knew? I should have known. That makes sense as a maths guy. Ready to follow? I did this with some other people too. Oh my god. 5.8 by 10 to the 4. And this would be 3.6 by 10 to the minus 2. My goodness. They're going to think I'm a genius. Light travels at a speed. Oh, at a speed of approximately 3 by 10 to the power of 5 light years, the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Obviously, who doesn't know that? Find the distance traveled by light in 1 year. So we just do Dad's silly triangle, but we have to figure out how many. You may assume there are 365 days in a year. Thank God they said that. Sometimes they don't say that, and sometimes people say you should know that, but like it's not exactly 365, so it's good that they did it. Anyway, give your answer in kilometers. So Dad's silly triangle means we're going to multiply speed by time. We just need to figure out how many seconds there are. So there's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 in a day, and then 365. So we're going to do 3 by 10 to the power of 5, which is 300,000. That's quite approximate, actually. I think they did that. We're going to multiply that by 31536,000. I might have missed a 0 in here somewhere. And it says give your answer in this form, but the calculator does that. So, okay. And even if it didn't, you should be able to figure it out from what we were doing. Okay, diagram below shows value of one share of company A. First day of each month from 1st of January to 1st thing. Use the graph to estimate the value on the 1st of March. We would say 7.3, 730 maybe if we're doing it in euro. It doesn't say. Use the graph to identify the month during which the value of one share is increased by the greatest amount. So that's the highest, kind of the steepest slope. I would say May to June, because it goes up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 480 we'll say, whereas here it goes up like 220, here it goes up 1. So during, and this is the 1st of May and this is the 1st of June, so during May On the 1st of August, value of one share was 15% lower than it was on the 1st of July. By reading from the graph and doing calculations, estimate the value of one share on the 1st of August at an accurate and approximate. So, July is €8. The 1st of July it says it's €8, but it's 15% lower. So we're going to do 8 multiplied by 0.85. There's the depreciation formula we'd use for that, and we'd say 6.8. And hence plot the point on the diagram. So we'd go back up here and go to about 6.8, which would be like here. I didn't necessarily say draw the line, but I don't know actually whether you should have now. It says hence plot the point. Later in the year, Liam predicts the value of one share. The error in his prediction is 150, which is percentage error of 16.3%. Find the value of one share at this time. So they would have done 150. This is a bit of a dick move to ordinary level now. They would have said 150 over x, which we don't know. And then they would have multiplied by 100 and gotten 16.3 as an answer. So then we could say 150. This is just one that people will be uncomfortable with that they didn't really do before. We can flip both of them upside down. X of 150. 100 over 16.3, but that would mean x equals 150 over 16.3. Whoops. 150 over 16.3. Oof. Correct nearest cent to be 9.20. 920. Let me see. 150 over 920. Yeah, be about 16.3%. Sick. The value of one share of company B can be modeled by this function. M is time in months, okay. P is the price, okay. Complete the table below to show the values of P for a given thing. Okay, so table mode, but they used power. I don't know if the ordinary levels are going to be a big fan of that. Let me just see how I get table mode on my calculator. Tabeln, I'm assuming is German for table. 1.29 the power of x. We do equals. Skip that. Start is 0, end is 6, step is 1. 2.58. 3.33, correct to 2 decimal places, yeah. 4.29, 5.54, and 7.14. Draw this graph. Okay, so it's 2.58, 3.33, 4.29, 5.54, now again, you have to try to make this a curvy line. No straight lines. It's supposed to go through all the dots. I just can't see on where I'm drawing them. I do apologize, my bad. And exactly, or at only one point in the time period shown, the value of them is equal according to the function PM. Which month must this have happened? In the month of March, because that's where they cross over. According to the model, value of one share of company B reaches its highest value on the 1st of July. And then onwards, it declines at a steady rate of 30 cents per month. New function to credit the model list decline where QN is the value. QN is the value of one share N after the time the share reaches its highest value. Part of the function is shown below. Fill in the missing number in the both boxes to complete the expression for QN, where N is the months after the time reaches its highest value. So then it is the highest value. I thought they were going to ask something else, and I was kind of a bit annoyed. 9.22 is how high it is in July. And if it's N is the amount of months after July. What did I just say? June, July? I can't remember. N months after the time the share reaches highest value. Yeah, then that's... Yeah, using your expression orders to find out how many months it takes for the value of one share Company B to fall below its value on the 1st of January, which was 2. I don't know why I didn't say that. This is B, isn't it? Yeah. So how long does it take before it goes down? So how long does it take to get to 722? So I'm going to go back into normal mode. 722 divided by 0.3. It would take 24.06. Whoops. So it would take 25 months, because it has to be a natural number. Even though it's 24.6, we'd have to round up, because 24 isn't far enough. It would still be above 2. Yeah, so we'd have to go to the 25th month, because n has to be a natural number apparently. So we'll go with that. Company launches a new phone. The company's profits each year will depend on the number of phones it produces. Company's profit for the first year can be modeled by this, where P X is the profit in the first year in millions. Congratulations. X is the number of phones in tens of thousands it produced in the first year. Find P0 and explain what it means in the context of this question. So if you sub in P0, it gives you -4, and the explanation is that if they make 0 phones, because that's what X represents. Now I told them this, but not the actual context part, so I'm kind of curious. They probably get the first part. It means 0 phones, -4 million euro. So if they don't make anything, they still have to it still costs them 4 million just not to make anything. Yeah. Complete the table below. Show the values of Px for the given values of X. Is this just table mode again? I'm okay with that, because I think they can do it. Just gonna give me a second. You probably skip ahead actually a couple of seconds. 5 x -4. So yeah, -4, and then the 5, and then the 11, and then the 14, and then another 14, and the 5 and the -4 again, which is chill. Draw the graph. So we'd say -4. Yeah, a lot of graph stuff. She wasn't wrong when she said that. 5, 11, 14, 14, 5 would be 11 again. 6 would be 5, 70 -4. Again, it kind of has to look like a dome. Now, it won't actually, it'll go above 14. It won't just stop at 14. That's something I think they're trying to catch people out with, because people fall for that all the time. That's a cracking graph for what I have in front of me. Use your graph on the previous page to estimate the range of values for X, which the company will have a profit of at least 6 million. Okay, so at least 6 million means you go across from the 6. This line is wanting a bit, and we hit it twice, so we go down twice. So range of values for X is kind of a shit way of saying it, but we'd have to say X is in between like 1.2 and 5.8. So technically they want it like this. If you wrote that in English, I think you'd be okay. Profit of the company for a second year can be modeled using this, where QX is much. Find Q dash X would be -3x plus 9.6. Find the value of X that will give the maximum value. Now, I didn't really do this with them, but it would mean put that equal to 0. You divide it by 3, and we'd get 3.2. So we'd say X is equal to 3.2, which looks close. Well, it should be 3.5, surely. No, actually, Graham, think about this. Oh, for the second year. So it doesn't have to be. Okay, all right. Okay. Hence, find the maximum value. So you'd have to sub in 3.2 into the guy. Go back to normal mode. -1.5. What did I say? 3.2 squared plus 9.6 times 3.5 minus 3.2. I said 3.5. I meant to. Hang on. Maximum value I'm getting is 11.86, but don't forget that's in millions, so that'd be 11,860,000 €5,000, right? So I might have fluffed the numbers because I kept saying 3.5 and I accidentally typed it in one point. Hopefully I didn't type it in for a lot of them. But for a third year, can we model by this? So it's just the same kind of deal, just another year. So yeah, a lot of graph stuff. I'm okay with that because I went through with a few people. I don't know whether you guys were listening though, but we'll see. Start of the third year, company receives 3 million in additional funding. As a result, the profit for the third year can be modeled by this. From your graph, estimate or2 and hence work out the value of the thing. So you have to draw up from 2 and then go across, right, to get to the 8. But then they're just saying add on 3. So that would be 8 and that would be 11 million. Okay. The diagram above, draw the graph of that. So if it's plus 3, it just means every number gets moved up 3 spots. So here we get moved up to maybe, so that's like, I'm going to say that's 3.5, so it goes up to 6.5. This was 8, so it goes up to 11. This was 9.5, so it goes up to 12.5. And this would be 11 again, and this would be here, and then this would be here. And again, just try to make it look the same as the other one, just moved 3 spots higher everywhere. Perfect, ideal. No one has any issues with that. Evan has 4,500 savings. He puts some money in a savings account of 2.8% per annum. Compound interest, how much will be in the account after 1 year? 5,000 multiplied by 1.028. 4626. Hence, where do I find out how much will be in the account at the end of 3 years? Give your answer correct near cent. 4888.68. Wow, okay, that's all. Okay. Patterns, it's weird to do financial maths and then go into patterns, actually. I'm not sure I enjoy that, but people probably wouldn't notice. It's probably all a mess to people who aren't a maths guy anyway, so like it probably made no difference to people actually doing it. The pattern is made up of dots and line segments. Dots are evenly spaced on a circle. Each pair of dots is joined by a line segment. The first pattern has 2 dots and a line segment. 3. Each pattern has 1 more. So, oh, they gave you the thing. Okay. But each dot is joined to each. So you'd have to do like this, 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 and this, right? Complete the table below showed the number of dots and line segments in the first 5 patterns of the sequence. So when there was 3 dots, there was 3 lines. When there was 4 dots, there was 6 lines. And there was 5 dots, there was 10. So this would be 6 dots, and they actually tell you that it's a quadratic sequence, even if you didn't spot it. So that would be 2, that would be 3, that would be 4. So that means it's 1 and 1. That means it'd be 1. That means this number here would be a 5. So that would be 15. Or that number of dots in the 1,000 pattern. Oh, you bastards. 1,001. Because it's 1 more always. Number of dots? Yep. Sn is the total number of dots required to make the first n patterns. Write Sn in terms of n. Sn is the total number of dots. Okay, so we need to do Sn for this. So A is 2, D is 1. Okay. I did with this with somebody. Who did I do this with? Oh, yeah, I did do them. Yeah. Maybe people would spot that. But them saying it's a quadratic might throw people off when they said the second row was a quadratic and then immediately asked you to do the first row. So that'd be 3 plus n. Isn't that correct? I suppose I'll check real quick. Let's say for 4, I should get 5 as an answer. So if I subbed in 4, hypothetically, it would be 7 by 2, which is 14. I've done something horrendously wrong. No, it's not. It's the sum, Graham. It's the sum. Relax. Chill your beans. That would be 14. That would be 7 times 2, which is 14. Perfect. Hence, we're going to find the total number of complete patterns sequence that can be made using 740. So it'd be 740 equals n over 2 times 3 plus n. We double that, we get 1480 equals 3n plus n squared. And then you'd have to do the minus b. Is there any way in hell I would know that? I don't think so. I'll just do it real quick. I'll just do the minus b on here. minus 3 plus the square root. You should move the 1480 over first if you're doing it yourself, but I'm just going to skip that if that's okay. So you get 37. N is 37, and again we should get a second value here, but it should probably be a minus. Yeah, minus 40. So n is equal to minus 40, but that does not work. We can't have the minus 40th one. So we can make 37 if we had 750 dots. The formula of the number for the number of line segments is given by this. Find the value of b. Now I didn't do this with them, but what we're going to do is we're just going to say the first one is a 1. So if I sub in 1 everywhere as an n, I want to get 1 as an answer. So I'd say 0.5 plus b equals 1. That means b is equal to 0.5 also. Okay. After makes closed boxes, the lengths are shown on the thing. Draw a scaled diagram of the net. People are not going to be happy with this one. Using scale 1 to 10. So instead of 70, this would be 7. The length of each square. This is what I was giving out about earlier in one of the earlier exams. They should say this. They didn't say it in one of the junior cert exams. I'm starting to think there was a few bits that they didn't say, like with the decimals that time that I was bitching about. So it needs to be a net where it's 7, 3, and 2. All right. And it's longer down than it is wide, so we should probably do it like that. So is there enough room if I do it this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Yeah, there's enough. Yeah, should have made it small maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a 7. And then it needs to be 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it's gone so well. Back across and up. But then I need to do another one that's 2. Oh my god. Terrible shame. Terrible shame. That, and then another one that's 3. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like so. Oh fuck. If I had a ruler, I swear to God those would be better. And then this has to be 3 by 2. To get the flaps on the end like this, and then another one out this side. That one's probably my favorite one. It worked out the best. Okay, work out the surface area. Yeah, okay, I guess. This would be 600, this would be 1,400, this would be 2,100. You'd add all them together, which would be 4,100, and you double it, so 8,200 is my guess. I could have fucked up the numbers, I just could not be arsed. Factory owner buys a machine from China for making the boxes. The machine costs this much yuan, I don't know how to pronounce that, including shipping. The factory owner must also pay 18.90 in customs duty. Using the exchange rate of this, is that all it is? Find the total cost of the machine. So we would have to do 353,819.34 divided 353,819.34. People nowadays are very bad at this topic, but it's just because everywhere they go to use the euro, or they will just use a card. So it's not like, I'm not blaming them. It's just how the world is working. But older people would have been able to do this, and they would argue that it's kind of almost common sense, whereas you guys think of it as actual maths, which is understandable for both points of view. I remember the pound. No matter how many times people pronounce that word yuan, I can never replicate it. I think that's the answer, because if you divide that by 761, you get like a 48,000 number, and when you add on the customs duty as well, that's what you get. Kira gets paid a wage of 780. Kira gets paid an hourly rate for any hours worked over 40. The rate is 50% more than the hourly rate. Whichever thing in a particular week, Kira works a regular 40 hours plus an additional n hours. Total wage is this. Work at the value of n. So this is kind of a dick move. I've done parts of this with people before, but they wouldn't have copped maybe to do 780 divided by 40 to find out what her hourly wage was, which would be 1950, I think, an hour. Is that right? You do one. You do one. You get 38. Be 9. Yeah, or 36 would be 9, and then you get the 2 carried over. It'd be 20, and 4 into 20 is 50. Okay, so her hourly rate is this, but that means the plus 50%, her overtime, would be an extra 975, so that would be 28.25. So that's how much she's getting for her overtime hours. So we know she's normally getting 780, but she gets this much, so that's going to be 263.25 extra she's getting. How many hours does she work? We'll divide 263. I think I've done something wrong here. I don't think that works. 263.25 divided by 28.25. Yeah, it doesn't work out for n. Unless they want n to be not a whole number, but I think I fucked it up somewhere. Hold on. 780 divided by 40 is 1950, so that's fine. If we add on 50%, it's 29.25. There we go. What did I do wrong? I said 975. Oh, I just forgot to carry a 1 like a fucking idiot. 263.25 then probably looks like it works better. Oof. I'm just typing it in badly because I'm upset. 263 divided by 29.25. 9. Yeah, so she worked 9 extra hours, 9 hours overtime. I'm curious. I think all the maths in there is like simple to do, but they just worded it in a way that people aren't going to be able to do it. Well, maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. A shop repair is closed. The charge for repair closed given by this, where C is the charge for the repair in euro, H is the number of hours it took to do it, and X is the extra hourly charge based on the level of difficulty of the work, and D is a discount rate. Find the charge when it takes 3 hours to do it. It's 3.5 and 1.1. So you just fill it all in. And you have to do it. It's to 2 decimal places actually. So I was going to try do it, but I won't be able to. So it would be. Again, I'm just writing the wrong thing on the calculator. Oh, no, that's fine. Correct 2 decimal places, €64.09. Find the value of X when the charge repair is 76 and the repair takes 4 and the discount rate is 1.2. So we'd have to do 76 multiplied by 1.2. 91.20. Take away the 80 and then divide by 4. 2.8 is the value of X. Okay. In the formula above, in the formula for C, D is always greater than or equal to 1. What impact would changing so D is less than 1 having the charge of the repair? It wouldn't be a discount. They'd be adding money on. It would get more expensive. Opposite way around. More expensive. It wouldn't be a discount rate. It would be we don't like you rate. Oh. Okay. Yeah, all right. It's fine. It's okay. I don't think there's just little bits that I didn't like, but that's just because I know the people I do maths with probably have some blind spots maybe. But some of it was stuff that you could. I don't like how they mixed questions together. They mixed questions together in a weird way that I don't think people are really be okay with. But maybe that's just what they're doing now. That's like there's nothing illegal about what they did there. I'm just saying. I went over this with my guys, so hopefully that's okay. This was weird, but this was okay, I think. Mixing the financial maths in is weird. A lot of graph stuff, which I'm happy with because I like doing that, and I think I tend to overdo it with some of the people I do maths with, so that's kind of good to see. Definitely the differentiation. This, I can't imagine. I'd say that was quite hard for people who are in the panic mode. Couple of graph questions where you have to do the table mode. I'm happy with that. Okay. Yeah. And then now a lot of ordinary level people find this difficult, but I did this specifically with some of them. So I'm happy for my people. Whether everybody's going to be thrilled, I don't know. Some of this stuff was I don't mean basic as in easy, but basic as in they could have hidden it behind things. They could have morphed two questions together. Use algebra to do simultaneous equations. Perfect. Also, because someone asked me yesterday to go over one with an x squared, and I didn't have time to do it. So it's a good thing it didn't actually, just happy accident that it didn't come up. This, they probably didn't get an ordinary level, but that's because they don't explain calculus properly, in my opinion. This one, I went through with them yesterday. That one, hopefully, they'll be able to do. This one, now, I didn't actually do that out the way they would have done it, so that bit might have caused difficulty. This bit, obviously, a piece of piss. This bit, I would hope that they would have just subbed in their value of k and t, multiplied out the brackets, and just compared and contrasted, but we'll see. Inequalities I did with someone the other day. I'm just happy myself that this worked out for my lads. Hopefully they're okay with this. This is just, I think people will do this in their daily life anyway, so that might be okay. Complex numbers might be a bit tricky, but I went through this again yesterday with them. I went through this with the modulus. Oh, it's also perfect. This one would have been tricky for ordinary level because it's not a set question. It's go out and think on your own about maths, and it's not that I don't think people are capable of it. I just don't think they literally hate maths so much that they wouldn't really want to do it. I'm going to put a pause in the video so I can go for a piss. That's not what I meant to press. Hang on now. That was worrying. I thought I deleted it all. Okay, I lied. I didn't just go to the toilet. I had to go do other stuff. So it's been a while, but I'm going to do just the next one, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The last one, paper one, leave insert, honours. They called it higher level. I don't agree with them doing it, but like, look, hold on, let me just check what that is actually. But yeah, what are we gonna do? We're just humans. All right, we'll give this a shot then. This will be the one I'll be most tested by, obviously. So this one's gonna be slower, and there's gonna be problem. This is, if I was to make a mistake, it's definitely gonna be in this one. Yeah, no, I'll just jump into it. I might as well just start. Okay, so let's have a look-see. Yeah, that's nice enough. I kind of I kind of told people ahead of time that they'll generally give you an inequalities that'll end up with a quadratic. It's either going to be a rational or a modulus, so that's good. It kind of worked out to what I was kind of or what I said to them, so that's good. And we'd say it's less than or equal to 144. But we whip that across, we get this. Minus 135, I guess. Now, you'd use the minus b. I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to do it. 5 and 27, 8 and 9. No, not 8 and 9. 5 and 27, 15 and 9. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So x is either 15 or x is equal to minus 9. That means then you do the little graph. Minus 9, 15. It's definitely an x squared graph. So it's saying when is the graph below 0. So we'd say if x is in between these two numbers. Perfect. Multiply it and simplify. Okay. 8x squared plus 20x root x minus 28x minus 20x root x, which would cancel with this guy, so that's okay. Minus 50x plus 70 root x. The 8x squared is on its own. Minus 78x plus 70 root x. I think that's okay. It's just normal multiplying. It should be fine. They normally give you something nice like that to start it off, just to kind of calm people down. This is a factor of this. Use this information to find the 3 solutions of the following equation. Well, we know one of them is x is equal to minus 3 over 2, just from whipping that one around. But we're going to have to do division otherwise. So we're going to say 2x plus 3, 4x cubed minus 12x squared. That's going to be 2x squared. So that would go. This will turn into 6x, but we change it to a minus, so it'll be minus 6x squared. This will be minus 18x minus 7x. Then this will be minus 18. No, wouldn't it be minus 9x? This will be minus 18x squared. And this would be minus 27, but we're going to change it to a plus 27 x. And then we'd have a 20x, but we'd have a plus 30. And then that would be plus 10, and that does work out. That cancels. Yeah, and then you could just do the minus b again. I think you'd have to do the minus b. It doesn't say what the answers to the solutions are going to be in the format of. But we'll see. I don't think it works. It does work. I'm being an idiot. Just so I don't have to do the minus b. What did I say in my head? I said it was going to be 2 here and 5 here, and they're both going to be minus. So x is equal to 5 over 2, and x is equal to 2. Okay, that wasn't too bad. The first one is just nice. Well, yeah, that was quite a nice one. It's very basic, very simple. All the questions you can think of. Function is given by this, find f dash x. Now the problem is normally that, and I went through this with them yesterday as well, thank God. Normally that means is paper 2 is going to be slightly trickier. Let me just, I do need my log tables. Where are they? Oh, there. So that's not bad, but we'll see how tomorrow goes. When you differentiate sine, it does indeed turn into cos. Find the equation to the tangent of the curve where x is 0. Okay. Well, first off, we have to find out what f of 0 is, but that will just turn out to be 6. So the point is 0 and 6. And the slope would be if we sub in 0 into f dash x, so it would be f dash is 0. And that would be 4. I think, and then we do the y minus y1. So y minus 6 is equal to 4x. And I want it written like that, so be minus 4x minus plus y, minus 6 equals 0. Okay. Function is defined by this. The graph shown on the diagram. Use the graph to answer parts. State the range of x's for which the slope is greater than 2. So I'd say when x is in between 3 and 4. Because here the slope is like a third. Here the slope is the slope is 3. So that's fine. Find the value of g of 3 of g of 3. So g of 3 is 1, and then g of that is it's going to be 1 over 3. Right? Show your g of 3 is 1. Show your work on the graph is this. How do you know it's 3? Because it goes across 1 and up 3 boxes, so it's a third of the box. The graph of what is shown again on this. Draw and label the graph of the inverse. Ooh. Where g is the inverse. Hint, the graph is the image of the graph under axis symmetry in the line y equals x. They told you. That's crazy. So instead of going across 3 and up 1, we'd go up 3 and across 1. And we go from, and then instead of going across 1 and up 3, we'd go up 1 and across 3. So we'd end up in this kind of corner as well. So it just look like this. Jesus, okay, that's not bad. The function is given by this. Find an expression for f dash x. You see, I did do this with people, but again, I don't know whether people are going to be too... This can be difficult. People don't like this, particularly because I do it a different way to how your teachers do it, but I will maintain I'm in the right. Of course, obviously, and they're going to do the same as well. The u dv is equal to 28 v 27. That's a 7. And then we just multiply them together. 15 by 28 will be 420. Yep, I think 420x to the power of 4 bracket 3x5 minus 4 power 27. This function is here. By finding g dash x, show that the function has no local maximum or minimum points. So you could use the quotient rule. I actually would prefer to use the chain rule here and treat it as 2x minus 7 to the minus 1. And then if we differentiate that, or if we do the chain rule, I'm not going to write it out, that's going to end up being 6, 2x minus 7 to the minus 2, which would be 6 over 2x minus 7 squared. Yeah, I think that's right. I had a moment where I thought I did something wrong, but I think I'm okay. And that is no local maximum mins or points, because local maximum or min need the slope to equal 0, but this can never equal to 0, because if it did, it would imply that 6 is equal to 0, so that doesn't work. Use this to find the value of k. Oh, okay. If you're integrating an e like that, and one of the lads did this a number of times, it turns into this, and it'd be k and 0. And I told people numerous times, don't just assume that when you sub in the 0 it would just disappear, because here it'll turn into minus 1 over 5. That'll be equal to 9. So we can say that's going to be 9 plus a fifth, which would be 46 over 5. But we're going to multiply it by 5, so it's going to be 46. So yeah, e to the kx is equal to L, not ln yet, I didn't do that yet, 46 over, not just 46. Oh, I forgot to, yeah, that, I wrote that the wrong way around, sorry. That should be 5k, and that should be 5k is what I meant to write. Isn't it? Yeah. So then k, that's why I was trying to do it and it just wasn't working. K would be the ln of 46, if we use the top right of page 21, over 5. Happy days, to be honest. 4 plus 5i is the conjugate, so that's by 4. 5i would be this. I've got an I here. 5i, yes, and it's all going to be over 41. I did this with people though. I'm super happy with how this worked out. I feel super vindicated. Over 41, and then if you just want to do what they did, you just kind of do it like this. Now, did I do this? That's the 1 and that's the I. If I did this with the honors, I can't remember. Oh god, use De Moivre's theorem. I did this with people. Truth that the following is true. So if we use, if you use De Moivre's theorem, that turns into cos 2 theta plus I sine 2 theta. 2 theta. But if we multiply it out like normal, using the binomial expansion if you want to, we should end up with cos squared theta plus 2 cos theta I sine theta plus, well, plus I squared, but minus sine squared theta. But then this is the real, this is the real, this is the real. Is that it? Normally, there must be another part to it. That's way too basic compared to what they normally do. Am I being trolled? Oh shit, people ask me about this too. Oh my god, it's so perfectly lined up. So I'm going to treat that as 0 minus 64i. And on the graph, it would just be down here. So we know automatically or is 64. And theta is 270. I'm going to do it in degrees. You can do it in radians if you choose. I'm not going to be a judgy person. So that means we're going to need to do 64 cos 7, or 270. The power is not a fraction, so we don't need to worry about adding on the fullness to it. That is the power of 6. Now the numbers are going to be fucking huge. 64... Hold on, someone else texting me there. 64. There's somebody religiously will text me by mistake instead of texting the 6th year. That I'll send them something and they will accidentally send it to me, like, consistently, and I just find it funny. Now, this is the problem. 64 to the power 6 is crazy. Find the two values of z Oh, it is power 1 over 6. Yeah, no, I was being stupid. Sorry, guys. It's power 1 over 6. I forgot to move it over. My bad. My bad. So I do need to do the shenanigans, which I did say to the others again. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just super. I'm always afraid I'm just teaching you stuff that's not going to come up, and then you are going to be given out. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do like a P. You're going to be like, we spent ages doing blank, and it didn't come up, and yet here we are. Here we are. 360p. Now it's power 1 over 6. So that means that 64 to the power 1 over 6 is going to be 2. It's not going to be 2, it's going to be 4. No, it's not going to be 2. Yeah, I was. Yeah, 2. I should just check. This is going to be, you have to divide each of these by 6. So that's going to be 45 plus 60p. It's going to put I sine 45 plus 60p. Now I'm kind of confused due to the fact that it says use the Moivre's theorem to find the two values of z. I'm assuming it's to do with the fact that c and d have to be real numbers, and when we do this, I don't know, it's just going to be that okay, well, I'm going to tell you what, I'll do it out anyway, I don't know why. So when n is equal to 0, yeah, this is strange. Cos of 45 will be 1 over root 2, so this would end up being 2 over root 2, plus 2 over root 2 I. This would be n equals 1. This would be, now this one I won't know. Let's see, cos of 105. Ew. And I multiply that by 2, so it's going to be like, this is the real part all in 1. It's going to be minus root 6 plus root 2 over 2 plus, this is a strange one now. This is where shenanigans get involved, what we'll see. And then it'd be root 6 plus root 2 over 2 is what your calculator will say with an I next to it. I shouldn't have done the brackets actually. I thought I was going to write it out differently at the start, and I just chose not to, so that's okay. Now if we do n equals 2, what's going to happen? We're going to get 120 and 45, which is 165. Oh, just find 2. It's not saying find the 2. It just says 2. So that's fine. Okay. See, now that's going to... Well, maybe it's not going to confuse me. It fucking confused me, though, because I'm used to them saying it a different way. Maybe, hopefully, if people aren't confused, or haven't done as much maths, they wouldn't be as confused, weirdly. Okay, you could just keep going, get 6 different answers, but they only want 2, so you're actually chill with just these 2, let's say. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. The function is defined by this. Write g in the following terms. Oh my god, I did this with everybody as well. If we multiply that out, we get ax squared plus 2axh plus h, well, ah squared, sorry, plus k. So that means that a is equal to 5, h is 2, 20, k is minus 32, a is 5, 4 by 5 is 20, we whip it across and make it a minus. Yeah, okay. Nice, 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 nice. Plus 2 squared minus 32. Whoops. I seem to have fucked this up somehow. But P is a positive constant. Use the laws of logs to write this. There we go. I didn't know how to fix that. Use the laws of logs to write the expression blank. Okay, now I kind of touched on this, but I didn't really hugely do it, so I'll understand if people didn't like this. To write in the form of that. Well, basically, if there's a power on the thing inside, we can whip it at the front, so that'll be ln of e to the 3p. And if we're multiplying logs, we can add them together, so we can say that's 5 ln e3 plus 5 ln of p. But that just works out to be 5 by 3, which is 15, plus 5 ln of p. Alright. Those are a pair of simultaneous equations where n is a constant. Yeah, bastard and fucks. One of the solutions to this pair of equations is on the x-axis, so that means that, or on the y-axis, so that means that the x is 0. Uses information to find the value of n. Okay, well, if x is 0, one of the solutions... Yeah, okay, so that means... Yeah, that means that y is equal to minus 7. And then if x is 0, that fucks off. If y is minus 7, that's minus 7. That's going to be 98. 91. N is 91. Okay. Never seen that before, but interesting. I had fun. Okay. Y-axis, x is 0, sub that in. Y is minus 7, sub that in. 0 fucks off. Minus 7, that's going to be 49 by 2 is 98. 98 minus 7 is 91. Alright. Write down the descending powers of p. Oh my god. The first 3 powers in the binomial expansion of this. We did this as well. It's like it was read. I don't know. For example, the first term should be able to form a. Okay, so they told you what they wanted for that one. Well, the first one is technically going to be 7 choose 0, which will be 1 anyway, so that's okay, but I just wanted to write it. And 2 to the power of p, or 2p to the power of 7. And then the second one would be 7. What do I want? Just the first 3. 7 choose 1, so that would be 2p to the power of 6. That would be 3 to the power of 1. And 7 choose 2, that would be 2p to the power of 5. 3 to the power of 2. And that works out to be 128p to the power of 7, which is what it said. That's nice. 7 choose 1 is 7. 7 times 64 is 432. By 3 is 1296. P to the power of 6, I think. Christ. 7 choose 2. I want to see if I can do it myself. Sorry. 7 choose 2 is going to be 21. 2 to the power of 5 is 32. 32 by 21, 652. 652 by 9. Oh, if I was doing this on my own, I'd be able to do that, I promise. 7 choose 1 is 21. 21 times 2 to the power of 5 times 9. 6,048. That sounds like I might have gotten something wrong actually when I did it, so it's a good thing I checked it. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember, to be honest. That would be p to the power of 5. Give each in its simplest form. You're welcome. Hx is this function where m and o are positive constants. The equation has exactly one solution. I did this with them as well. I'm a fucking... Oh my god, I'm so lucky. B squared minus 4ac. I was going to say I'm a god, but then I didn't want to tempt fate. If it has one solution, that means that is equal to 0. A is 6m, B is minus 4 or, and C is 54. So I sub that in. Minus 4 or squared is going to be 16 or squared. Minus 4 times 6. I do need the m. Yeah. And then I misspoke earlier. C is actually 54m. I forgot to say about the m. But that should all equal to 0. 16 or squared. Now, there's no chance I can do that, is there? That'd be 324. 324 by 4. 1244. 46. I'll do it out. I did something wrong. It should be 1306, I think. 4 by 6 by 54. I I did everything wrong. Don't worry about it. 1296. 6 times 24. What did I do? I did 30, 324. Yeah, no, I did that horribly wrong. Don't worry about it. Well, don't worry about it. I'm fine. No, don't stress. Then m squared. Yeah, m squared would be equal to 16 or squared over. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way around. They want or on its own. My bad. Or squared would be equal to 1296 m squared over 16. Obviously, 16 goes into that. 81 times. That was on a calculator. Don't stress. 81 or m squared, and the square root of both sides does indeed give you or is equal to 9m. Use the fact that or is equal to 9m to find the value of this solution. So up here I am going to just sub in 9m instead of the 4 or, so it would be 36m. Then you can divide everything there by 6 and make it mx squared minus 6mx plus 9m. But then you can divide the whole line by m as well, so that's okay. So then we just get a normal ass minus b. But you'll notice it's just x minus 3 and x minus 3. So that means x equals to 3 is your solution. What the fuck is this? Spiders build webs out of silk. This question involves 2 different models of how a spider might build this. Alright. Functions each model gives lengths in centimeters. This is trippy. I hate this shit. The first model web is made in stages. First the spider makes stage 1 of the web. I see him. It then adds an extra silk. Then add extra silk to stage 1 to make stage 2 and so on. The table below shows the values of S and the total length of silk in each stage. In the first 3 stages. Okay, now I think they've worded it in a way that can be confusing, but I think S1 is how much silk is in the small diagram. S2 is how much silk is in the second one. It's not adding all of them together. Is that right? No, it shouldn't. Well, the way they worded it shouldn't be. No, I think it is. No. Hang on, give me a second to read this again. The words are fucking me up again. In the first model, the web is made in stages. So that's stage 1. Then adds extra silk to stage 1 to make stage 2 of the web and so on. Okay, I think I just read the words wrong. Just misinterpreted it. It's not their fault, it's on me. Table below shows and the total length of silk in each stage. That line there. Total length of silk in each stage. So yeah, I did, yeah, okay, I did read it correct. I think the first time the table shows an when n is greater than 1, an is the length of silk needed to get from stage 1 to stage n as said below. So the way I'm reading this is there is 15.8 centimeters in this, and then there is 37.8 in this, and they're saying that the extra layer here is the difference between those two numbers, whereas I think some people thought 37.8 was going to be the first two added together, but I think 37.8 is just for the second one. So show that A2 is 22. Well, you just minus these two numbers and it does in fact end up being 22, and then find the third one. Or you just do 66, take away this, it'd be 28.2, I think. Weird question. The numbers form an arithmetic sequence. You sly bastards. You sly bastards. Because we did add on 6.2 and 6.2. So we know that A is 15.8. N minus 1. And then we said 6.2. So it would be 15.8 take away 6.2, which would be 9.6. Plus 6.2 n. I think. And so otherwise find the value of a 100. It'd be 629.6. Sn is the total length of silk needed to make stage n. Yes, I know that. Where n, so the Sn is really the sum of all the ANs. Yes, by using the formula, I'm going to show that. Oh, okay, so I think you have to spot what I was... Did you have to spot what I was saying? That the Sn is actually the Sn of these numbers. So... So I'm going to use the A and the D that I used here, the 15.8 and the 6.2. Yeah, so I'm going to say n over 2 times 2 times the 15.8. Yeah, 15.8. Just using the Sn formula. That would be n over 2. That would be 31.6. That would be 6.2 n minus 6.2. N over 2. 31.6 take away 6.2 is 25.4 plus 6.2 n. Half that for the over 2, and we get 12.7 n plus 3.1 n squared. Oh my god, that's the guy. That's a squared, don't judge me. Stage K is the first stage in which the total length of silk is more than 10 meters, which is 1,000 centimeters. Using your expression of solve an equation to find the value of K. They even told you it's in centimeters. Jesus Christ. They're really trying to help you guys. So 10 meters would basically be 10 or 1,000 centimeters. So we need to put this equal to 1,000 centimeters, which means it's going to be a minus 1,000. When we bring it across the equals, I forgot the n, be 1,000 equals 0. I'm just going to do the minus b formula. Now they would have used k instead of n. That's fair, I suppose. That's the one thing I would say, but it doesn't really matter. 12.7 plus square root of 12.7 squared minus 4 times 3.1. I never like the decimals, but like that's just... And I just have to get over it. 2 times 3.1. So I got n is equal to 16.03 if I round it. And then I have to delete this into a minus, and then I would also get n is equal to minus 20.13, but that doesn't make sense. We can't have the 20th one. Now we can't also have the 16.03, but 16.03 is when it gets to 10 meters. So 16 isn't enough, so we'd have to say n is equal to 17. They did a similar thing at the ordinary level, and they're just trying to trick people. Someone has mentioned that they hate some guy in his kayak. I'm looking forward to that. In the second model, the web is made in laps. What type of fucking schizo spider did we do? The diagram on the right shows the first lap of the web. The line segments marked 01, 02, 03 in the diagram are the first orbitals of the web. Okay, new word. The length of the orbitals of the web form a geometric sequence, if you say. So the length of 01 is 0.5 and the length of 02 is 0.53. And I did this with them yesterday. I said that you would do 0.53 divided by 0.5, and that would tell you what the thing is. Now, I guess we just say that's 53 over 50 if we want to keep things simple. But then to find the third one, we have to do 0.53 multiplied by 53 over 50. 53 over 50. So the length of 03, as far as I'm aware, it looks weird, but this question is weird, so normally I'd look at that and think I did something wrong because of the weirdness of the question. Maybe not. Write an expression for n for the total length of the first n, so we'd have to do Sn, where it's a1 minus or to the power of n over 1 minus or. I should just check. That's the one that I weirdly use the least here, so I just want to make sure I have it the n is in the right spot. It is indeed. Now a is a half, 0.5, or is the fraction that we found, 53 over 50. N is just what they want n to be. Excuse me, 1 over 53. Now, it says write an expression. I think that would be okay because of how terrible this is. You could tidy it up. You could make that 0.5 into a half. You could make this minus 3 over 50, but then it'd be minus 50 over 3 you're multiplying by. So it'd be minus... I don't think you need to do this, and I could be getting it arseways trying to do it weird. Would be 53 over 50 of n over 6. So it'd be minus 3 over 50 on the bottom, but I flip it upside down and make minus 50 over 3, and then I multiply by the half. I think that's also legit, but I think they're both okay. They just look messy. There are exactly 18 orbitals in each lap of the web. Write an expression in k for the total length of the first k laps. Is that not just write an expression? Write an expression n for total length of the first n. Write an expression k for total length of the first k laps, brother. That's a bitch. Okay. So we need to, oh god. Okay, so we need to actually find S18 to find out the total amount of silk in the first lap. Is that right? That's crazy. So for the total length of the first n orbitals, and they want to talk about 18 orbitals. So yeah, they want us to do S18. Now I won't write it down just because it just is pissing me off, this thing. So I'm going to use the thing before I went all weird with it, just in case I got that wrong. 1 minus 3 over 50. Power of 18. 1 minus 53 over 50. There's probably a smarter way of doing this now that I think about it, but this is where we're at the minute. I'm going to say 4, 5, 2, 8. I'll just write it all out. It's chill. So that's the first lap. So that's lap 1. Now I'm going to say S36. And that will tell me the length of the first 2 laps, or the first 36 orbitals. I could be completely wrong here. That'd be 59.56043333. Not that it matters hugely, and that's L2. And then I'm assuming this would have to be a geometric, but I'm going to do S of 54 just to play it safe. There's no, it has to be. That'd be 185.4585031, and I'm contending that that's lap. Oh, no, I'm lying to your face. That's not lap 2. That's not lap 3. There's a bit I forgot. We have to minus each of them. So I'm going to say the 59, or I'm going to do that minus 59.56043333. So I'm going to say lap 3 is actually 125. And then I'm going to do that minus 15.45282627, and that's going to be 44.10760706. That's lap 2 as far as I'm concerned, and that's lap 3. Forgot the L. Now if I do that divided by 15.45282627, I get like 2.855433914, and if I do 125.888980,698 divided by 44.10760706. I also get 2.85433914. Oh my goodness. So this, and this are the first three terms of geometric sequence. This is the order we're multiplying by each time. They wanted first total length, and it's geometric series, so I'm going to use the SN formula again, but this time instead of A, I'm going to use 15.453, I'm going to say. I'm just going to round it. And then 1 minus OR, but OR is the 2.854. I don't know how many decimals to go to. Maybe I should have done fractions. My calculator doesn't do it in fractions, so I don't think so. I think we're kind of screwed. K all over 1 minus 2.85434. Which, if you did that on the bottom, you'd have the new bottom being... Well, I suppose you could do 15 point... Okay, I should do that. 15.43453, we'll say. Divided by minus 1.85434. Get minus 8.33. We'll just say 1 minus 2.85434. Now, they might have wanted that in fractions, but for some reason my calculator didn't give it in fractions, so maybe I wrote it out wrong. Maybe they're hoping you didn't do fractions. Maybe they're hoping that you used this as A, but they didn't give you nearly enough room in the box for that. So I think that was a shit question because of the decimals, and they never kind of specified, but I think that's a fairly decent answer. I think. Again, they might have wanted to use that. I wouldn't do that unless they gave me a bigger box to use. And also, this isn't going to work out to be a fraction either, unless, again, you spent like an hour doing it, but there's no point. Okay, here's the famous Jacob that had the kayak that girl hates. Jacob buys a new kayak in a shop. The kayak is usually priced at $8.70. The price is reduced by 15% in the sale. Jacob gets a further reduction of 10% on this reduced price because he's a member of the shop's loyalty club. Find the price that Jacob pays for the kayak. So, I'm assuming that it's saying, the English there is kind of tripping me up slightly, but I'm assuming it's 15% off the 870. So I'm going to say 870 by 0.85 to find out how much is left. And after the first one, it'd be 739.50. But then he also gets another 10% off from that. So it's 90% of that is what's left. So I would say 665.55. You can't. I don't think you can just do the 10 and 15 because I think the way it's worded is different. I would argue that people could interpret that both ways, but we don't know. Jacob buys a panel. Interesting. Okay. So based on what he thinks, fucking Egypt, the paddle would cost 80.30 in euro, but it actually cost 81.32. So how much did it cost? Well, then, so we know that it was 81.32 in euro, and this is how much it was in dollars, 95. And we want to get the euro side to be 1, so it matches here, so we divide it by 81.32, but that means we divide this side by 81.32 as well. And we get 95 divided by 81.32 is 1368. That's, I pressed minus. That number didn't make any sense. Ooh. As I get tired, I'm going to start finding stupid things funny. Just be prepared. So, 1.168, I'll say, to 3 decimal places. So he's close. Jacob takes part in a race, of course, which involves kayaking and running. He must get from the point S to in the sea to the point F on the coastline. A is another point in the coastline. 2, 8, right angle. Jacob kayaks at an average speed of 6 kilometers an hour, runs at an average speed of 12. Okay. Find how long it will take Jacob to kayak from S to A. Okay. So he's going 2 kilometers, 12 kilometers an hour, distance, speed, time, that silly triangle, 2 over 12. Or, no, I lied to your face. Kayaks is 6. So distance, so 2 over 6 be a third of an hour. And then run to A to F. So then it would be 8 over 12, which would be just 2/3 of an hour? Is it just an hour? No. There's no way they said that. Distance, that silly triangle. Distance over speed is 2 over 6. 2 over 6 is a third. 8 over 12 is 2/3. That's crazy. Find out how long it would take for Jacob to kayak directly from S to F. There we go. This is the shit I thought they'd be doing. So, we know that if we use Pythagoras, we can figure out that that is going to be the square root of 68, which is gross, but we'll live with it. We could break that down a bit, I suppose. 4 goes into it 17 times, so it'd be 2 root 17. If we want to think of it that way. So, and then it would be 2 root 17 over 6, which would be root 17 over 3 hours. But what is that correct nearest minute? Well, I'm going to do the square root of 17 over 3, get the decimal, but then I'm going to press my fancy button that I love pressing, and it's going to say 1 hour, because it's correct nearest minute, 1 hour, 22 minutes. Whoa, excuse me, heavens. The point B is on A to F, and A to B is X, and yeah, it has to be in between 0 and 8. Jacob's going to kayak from S to B, and then run from B to F. Find an expression in X for T, the total time in hours that it will take Jacob to get from S to B to F. Okay, this is more so what I thought it would be. 6 and 12. So we use Pythagoras to find out that the length of this is the square root of 4 plus x squared. But then the time would be the square root of, if we did the same thing as we did above, but we just don't have the numbers, which is fine. What did they say? 6. And then it would be 8 minus x is the distance from B to F. And that would be over 12, because that's how fast he runs. And that would be an expression in x for the total time that it would take him to get from S to B to A. Jacob knows that there's one value of x for which tx is a minimum. Solve the following equation to find this value of x correct to this. How did they get? I see how they got that. Don't stress, but I just was upset. Solve the following. So, we're going to end up with 12x is equal to 6 square root of x squared plus 4, but then we get rid of the 6 and make that a 2. We square both sides, we get 4x squared is equal to x squared plus 4. And then we whip that across and make it a minus. Be 3x squared is equal to 4, but then x is equal to 2 over root 3. Yeah, correct 2 decimal or 3 decimal places. So I'm gonna have to do 2 over root 3. Corrected 3 decimals would be 1155. Is that okay? There are no values, no other values of x in 0 to 8 for which there will be, apart from the answer. Yep. Use this fact in your answer from parts C and D to find which one of the following graphs could represent tx. Okay, so it can't be the first two, obviously, because they have 2 values. Now it says use your answers from parts C and D as well. What was C and D? Remind me. 1 hour, 22 minutes. Oh, because it has to be. So the shortest, if you went straight, if you went there. So if we know that this is the x value, I'm going to sub it into my version of tx, and we're just going to see 1.1155 and see if it's bigger or smaller than those other numbers. So, this is, Graham, this is what you love doing. Don't stress. This is going to be answer squared. Did I clear that? I might have cleared it actually. I'm going to have to get rid of answer and put in 1155 over 6 plus 8 minus 1.155 over 12. So hypothetically, the minimum time it would take would be 57 minutes, right? So this one took an hour, this one is an hour 22, 57 is quite close to an hour, so the minimum would actually be quite close to the y value. So I'm assuming it would be D, min close to 0, close to when x equals 0. Yeah, that's the better way of writing what I was saying. Hold on, I'm going to pause it for a second. That's not right. I'm going to pause it again. Okay, so obviously when I left, I forgot to fucking hit the timer at the right time. So the timer's off. I'll have to fix that myself, but I'll try start it here and see if I reverse the split to see if I can get it to go from here. And we'll know how long it takes me to do the rest if I press 1, I think. The number at the top is wrong, but we'll live. Okay, this bottom bit will be how long it takes. Okay, that's for me to know, don't worry. I'm just kind of, well, yeah, you know. We'll see. Anyway, that's the answer to that one. I think, that's what I think. My logic is that this number here, when x is 0, in that last question was just way too high above this. And yeah, this actually, when you think about it, this number over here was below, in between, when it should be above both, because that was the hour and 22, I think, right? When x was, well, hold on, have I got that the right way around? Yeah, when x was 0, it was 1 hour. When x was 1.155, it was 57 minutes. And when x was 8, it was 1 hour and 22. Yeah. Everything I said is chill. Danny drives a car. Cool. The fuel consumption F of Danny's car depends on the speed of the car C. For a particular journey, F is given by this, okay, where F is the litres per 10,000 kilometers and C is in kilometers an hour, 40, now with C in between 40 and 120. Show that there is no difference in the fuel consumption when Danny's car is travelling at 60 than when it was travelling at 110. Well, that's just sub in C for both of them. So if I do that on my calculator, 0.05 bracket 60. I don't think this is true in real life. But I could be wrong. I don't really know much about cars, so that's going to be 60. Close that, do a plus 800. So I got 470. So I'm going to say that F of 60 is equal to 470. I'm just going to do the same again, but it's going to be 110. Excuse me, heavens. And I'm just going to sub in 110 instead of subbing in 60. And it is also 470. Okay. Find an expression for dF's dc, the rate of change of fuel consumption with respect to speed. So that would be 0.1 c minus 8.5. Is that it? Okay. Yeah, I imagine it was going to get terrible. During part of the journey, the speed of Danny's car at time t is given by this, where t is the time between 1 and 10 and c is in kilometers an hour. Use this in your answer from above. That makes more sense. Find the value of df dc when t is equal to 7. Oh, okay. So we can't sub t in here, obviously, because that's c. So I'm going to have to sub in 7 in here to find the value of c to sub into this. So that's going to be ln of 49. So I'm going to do that. That's going to be 78 plus 9 ln of 7 squared, which is 49. And I'm going to press equals there. And that means that when t is 7, c is equal to 113.03, we'll say, to 2 decimal places. And then I'm going to sub it in here and say 0.1. Now I'm going to say times the answer on my calculator, but that's okay, minus 8.5. So I got 2 point, corrected to 1 decimal place. df dc is 2.8. And that's saying that the amount of liters that they use based on the speed is after 7 minutes, she's using 2.8 more liters for every time her speed increases by 10,000. Yeah, something weird like that. Some weird nonsense. Hopefully they don't ask. Show that the rate of change of the car's speed, like that one might take me time to actually think on. Show that the rate of change of the car's speed with respect to time. Oh, DCDT, they even told us. Can be given by this. Well, I'm just going to differentiate this. The 78 fucks off. And if we differentiate that, it would be 9 times 2t. ln turns into 1 over t squared. The 9 times 2 is 18. And the t over t squared, which is what you would get, would break down to 18. 1 over t, which is 18 over t. Happy days. Use your answers to 3 and 4, these guys, to find the rate of change of the car's fuel consumption with respect to time. So that means they want df dt. Yeah, this is the unit I was trying to say earlier. Liters per 10,000 kilometers per minute, which just, it fucked me up. I wasn't able to do it. So now it says when t is equal to 0, or when t is equal to 7, sorry. So when we did this question, when I would have done this question before with you, I would have found out df dc and dc dt and multiplied them together and then subbed in 7, but I know I can just use the 2.8 because the df dc, I could multiply this by this and then sub in 7, but I can just say 2.8 by 18 over 7, I think. 2.8 bracket 18 over 7. Uh, 7.2. So that would be, yeah, it's changing by 7.2 liters every minute, whereas the now per minute was what we were doing. Yeah, I got confused with a different question. Now this is kilometers an hour. Let me see, does that change things? That probably does change things. I probably scuffed something along the way. Let me think. So the speed is in kilometers an hour. F is the amount of liters per 10,000 kilometers they're using. The rate of how many liters they're using. We found out that when she was going 60, when she was going 110, it was the same amount of liters per 10,000 kilometers. For an expression dfdc, which is the rate of change of fuel consumption as her speed is changing. And that was fine because that was kilometers and kilometers an hour. This is also kilometers an hour. So we found her speed in kilometers an hour was 113 when it was, now t is 7 minutes though. So we found that her speed is 113 kilometers. That's okay. I think they're fucking with me on purpose, but it doesn't actually matter. Because t is in minutes, but c is in kilometers an hour. This is kind of like the portal where it transfers from minutes to kilometers an hour without you having to change stuff. It changes it for you. I was just assuming there was some shenanigans. There was some shenanigans in the way where we had to change it ourselves. So that, let's say that would be liters per 10,000 kilometers. 2.8 thing per kilometers per kilometer an hour, which is awful because c is the speed. Then down here it says show that the rate of change of the car's speed with respect to time is 18 over t. So because it's how much the speed is changing, we would say that that is kilometers per hour per hour. Yeah, acceleration. Yeah, that was That was stupid of me. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Use your answer from above to find the rate of change at which the car's fuel consumption. Yeah, so I was saying I was going to multiply these two together, and that makes sense because kilometers an hour would cancel out to just be this over h, but they want the per minute. There we go. I knew there was something. No, I didn't know there was something because that is t here. I just got this wrong. I think. Not t, sorry, per minute is what I meant to say. But t is minutes. I think they're fucking with me, but it's working, right? So I think this is the answer. I think that's chill. To sum it up, I think all my answers are fine. I was just trying to get the units right because I thought if the units were wrong, I must have done some maths wrong. But I think they did shenanigans with the units and it's actually okay. So I'm going to move on, but maybe there is an issue with that. So check the answers for that one off the official source or ask me or something, you know. Over the first 8 seconds that Danny's driving a car, the car speed is kilometers an hour. The car speed in kilometers an hour can be approximated using the following function. You guys don't really do this normally. It's two different functions. It's called a piecewise function where t is a real number and it's the time in seconds after the car starts moving. Fill in the table below. Okay, I can do that. 8. I might have to go turn on the light actually. So that would be 3 point, correct to 1 decimal place, 3.9. So now I'm going to turn on the light. That other girl is saying that Jacob with the kayak is evil. Still. Um, 3.9, and then I would change that to 0.4 multiplied by 3. You could use table mode, but the problem is you can only use table mode for 0 to 3 for this one, and then you'd have to change it around here. So 18.6, and then here we'd have to use the quadratic. So I'd say minus x squared. We have to use x obviously because we don't have t on the calculators, at least not now. Maybe you guys in the future. Whoa, maybe you guys have it. You just get your AI robot butlers to do it. What am I doing? 4, 8, 1. Okay, so yes, I think that's fine. 46.6, 59.6. Yeah, 70.6 and 79.6. Bizarre that it's 0.6 all the time. There's probably something to that, but I'm not in the mood right now. Hence draw. Oh yeah, bitch of a thing. Okay, hence draw the function. I can do that. I'm just complaining because I don't know, coming to the end of the maths and I don't want to. 3.9, 9.8. Ugh, 3.9 would be like here. 9.8 would be like here. 18.6. Like this. Now because it's an E, even though it looks like it could be a straight line, it's supposed to be curved up. 31.6. Oh yeah, 31.6. We'll see it now. I forgot this one. 31.6. And it's supposed to kind of go. Sorry again, my apologies, but that's yep, that's gonna look like that. 46.6 be like here. 59.6 be like here. 70.6 would be like here. 79.6 would be like here. So this should be the start of an N shape now, so it should actually go kind of in the opposite direction, because it's a minus t squared or minus x squared, so that makes sense. Use integration and this to find the average speed of Danny's car for this. So if we remember SVA, oh, we don't need that. Sorry, I'm confusing the issue. Average speed. If you want the average of a function, you just integrate it 1 over b minus a. I did this with people, so that's good as well. So it'd be 1 over 8 minus 4. Integrate minus t squared plus 24t minus 48.4 dt, not that you guys really care about that. We'd integrate in between 8 and 4. So that'd be minus t 3 over 3 plus 12t squared minus 48.4 t. We do 8, 4. We still have the 1 over 4 at the start. Oh god, okay. This one's just intensive maths, just 8 to the power of 3 over 3. Don't forget the minus at the front. Plus 12 8 squared, yep. Minus 48.4 t. So that would be all the 8-bit. I'm going to leave it as a fraction for now. 3152 over 15. Then we're going to have to do minus, but do all the same with a 4 subbed in instead of an 8. So it'd be 4, 4, 4. And that would be a minus 3, 4, 4 over 15. So we have a minus minus. Still all of this 1 over 4 at the front. And then you multiply that by, give your answer correct to 1 decimal place, 58.3 kilometers an hour. Now I'm going to just, that was some simple enough maths. I'm tired, so I might have gotten some wrong, so I'm going to just check. And you notice in between 4, which is like here, and 8, which is like here, it seems to go from a speed of roughly 30 to 80, so an average of 58.3 isn't crazy. So it's always good to kind of see that. Okay, last one. The first 3 patterns in a sequence of patterns are shown below. Ooh, each pattern is made up of dots at the point in a coordinate plane that have integer coordinates. Okay, right. As shown below, pattern 1 has a dot at all such points that are a distance of 1. Pattern 2 has a dot at all such points that are a distance of 1 from a point in pattern 1. Wow. As the sequence continues, point n plus 1 has a dot at all such points that are a distance of 1 from point in the previous pattern. This is true for all n. Okay. 9 of the dots in pattern 4 are shown on the coordinate diagram below. Draw on the missing dots to complete pattern 4. It's very rare to give this to you in honors. The fact they even did some already probably means that you could just do it by symmetry and just kind of, I'm assuming, kind of go, well, there's one there because it's 1 away from here and 1 away from here, so that's okay. And there'd be 1 here. Yeah, just by symmetry. There's 1 here and there's 1 here because there's 1 below the one that we did, or to the left of the one that we did. Yeah, no, I'm not missing any beats here. I don't think. It's just, you could just do symmetry if you were stuck. So that was kind of nice. Happy little accident that worked out to be. Okay, they're all 1 away from the guys. Yeah. In pattern 2000, there are 4 points there. Write down the coordinates of these 4 points, you dickhead. Okay. In pattern 2000, there are 4 points that are a distance of 2000 away. How the fuck could you figure out this shit? Okay. Alright then. Oh, it has to be the 4. Okay. I gave them so much shit right then and I regret it. Pattern 1 has 4 points that are 1 away because it's the 4 on the axes. Pattern 2 has 4 away because this one here is 2 up, this one here is 2 right, this one here is 2 down, and this one here is 2 left, whereas the other ones are all 1 away or 0 away. Same here, this one, it's only this one, this one, this one, and this one that are 3 away. And then the same for my one. That's such a bitch question. Write in the coordinates of these 4. Okay, 2000, 0, minus 2000, 0, 0, 2000, and 0 minus 2000. I was freaking out looking at that question. I don't know how you guys handled it. What is the smallest value of n for which the point 4, 4 is in pattern n. So that means it has to be on one of the diagonals. Do not draw on your diagram from part A. So this guy, thank God, because I drew on the other ones. So 4, 4 is on this diagonal. So it has to be this guy. Now, let's see if we can try find a pattern for what's going on with the diagonals. So you'll notice for 1, there wasn't any, so that's fine. For 2, there was one that is root 2 away. Technically here it would be root 1. No, it wouldn't. Would be... hang on now. Maybe this isn't the best way to go about it. Maybe I should just do every second one, but that confuses the issue later on. Because here there's one up... So 2 has... Yeah, we'll do it this way. So we're going to skip every... There's none here, so I'm going to ignore that, actually. I could have technically done it that way, but pattern 2 has one at 1, 1. Pattern 4 has one at 2, 2. So I'm assuming it's pattern 6 would have one at 3, 3, and pattern 8 would have one at 4, 4. Qn is a proportion of points with integer coordinates where the modulus of each a and b are less than n that are in pattern n. Rearrange the formula to write n in terms of... Are you fucking serious? You fucking nerds. Like, is that just t minus 1 over 2? Is that all? So if they give you something like that, it means that something else coming down the way is going to absolutely destroy us. Qn is given by the following formula for any... Oh, they gave it to us. Thank fuck. I thought we were going to have to figure that out, and I did not have a clue. By substituting your answer from D into the expression for Qn above, show that it's equal to this. That's okay. So everywhere there's an n, I'm just going to replace it with t minus 1 over 2 plus 1 squared. Sometimes when I do that, you guys will also get annoyed and be like, oh my god, you have an eraser, just get rid of it. It's actually such a pain in the hole to have to do that every time. So, no. I'm glad we had this talk. Now, if we do that, that's going to end up being t minus 1 squared over 4. I just don't want to do that out just yet. This would be 2 times t minus 1 over 2, but that's just not t minus 1, and this would be plus 1. That will cancel with that, so that's nice. Down here, this will cancel with this, so we'll have t minus 1 squared plus 2 times t minus 1 plus 1. If we write all that out, we would get t squared plus minus 2t plus 1 over 4 plus 4t over 4. I'm just changing the 4 or the t so that I can add them together in the next step. This would be t squared minus 2t plus 1 plus 2t minus 1 plus 1. That would cancel with that. That would cancel with that. No, that should be a minus 2. And that means it would cancel with that as well. That's what I was losing my mind over. Then this would turn into t squared minus plus 2t plus 1 over 4 on top. And just t squared on the bottom. But then instead of dividing by t squared over 1, I can change it to multiplying by 1 over t squared. Which would get me the t squared plus 2t plus 1 over 4t that they were asking for. 4t squared, sorry. Find the value of q infinity, which is given by the limit. I told you fuckers not to care about the limits. I did kind of tell roughly what to do in this case. You divide everything by t squared. So you get 1 plus 2 over t plus 1 over t squared. And this would be 4. And then when you sub in infinity, they go to 0, and you're left at 1 over 4. Hn is the number of dots in pattern n of the sequence for n. H right then the value of h1. Alright, again, normally when they give you something easy like that, those last ones weren't too bad though. The algebra here was intense. Limits you just don't know normally, so that's understandable. When n is a natural number, hn plus 1 can always be found from hn using this formula. Okay, recursive. Using this fact, prove the identity on the grid below. Use your proof by induction. Wow, I don't think I've seen this in the leavings there before, but that's okay. So, proof by induction. We sub in 1 and make sure that it works. H I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. I have to pause this shit for a second. How do I pause it without... Okay, sorry. Using this fact, proof the identity in the grid below. Proof that Hn is equal to this. So, okay, so H of 1, induction, as is always true. So being the smallest number, which here is this. That's 4, but that's what I have. That's why they set us up. I knew it. I knew that's why they're going to set us up. H of k, I'm going to say, is equal to k plus 1 squared. I'm going to say assume true. I don't know if you need to. You must do. Assume, because they gave us this thing here, it's just something fishy's about to go down. And then h of k plus 1 would be k plus 2 squared. But they also told us that can be written as h of k. So here it's n plus 1 and here it's n. So instead of, I forgot an equals here, sorry. So here it's n plus 1 and then it's n. So instead of k plus 1, it could be h of k plus 2k plus 3. And if I multiply this out, I'd get k squared plus 4k plus 4. Whereas over here, I would get hk, which is k plus 1 squared. Here would be 2k plus 3. And if I multiply this out, I'd get k squared plus 2k plus 1 plus 2k plus 3. But down here, if I did it out, I'd get k squared plus 4k plus 4, which is the guy on the left. So that means these two match. That means we're done. It looks awful. I've never seen them do that before, but it's actually easier. Oh, we're done. Okay. Is that really it? I must have gotten stuff wrong or skipped something, and I got too tired or something at a certain point. I don't know, man. There's no way. Okay, that one wasn't... It was fine. I enjoyed it. You see, the problem is trying to give you guys an opinion on these things is kind of difficult, but because like we're both coming at it, I'm coming at it from a different point of view from you guys. It's okay. There was a lot of function stuff on this, which is what the old kind of stuff was. The sequences and series question wasn't as bad as it has been in the previous. They gave you several elements to it, which is kind of nice. Again, I might have fucked some things up and missed certain parts, and there might have been bits. This bit threw me a bit. You saw that. So I imagine it threw people as well. The graph bit there, I understand if people don't get that. This was all kind of fine though. I would worry for paper 2. Normally, if one is kind of okay-ish, the next one is going to be paper 2. Now, that's not to say people might have had problems with it. I'm not saying it was easy, because this was also terrible. But again, I got a kick out of it, so I understand. My level of maths is going to be different to your level of maths. It's all I do all day, every day. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. I liked it. I would have liked it. Yeah. Again, as I said, though, as I'm looking back, I'm kind of... I almost don't remember doing some of the things, so I might have forgotten some things. I thought it was okay. Some weirdness like there where it says only use 2 answers. This was too short, in my opinion. That was fine. That was also okay. They used a lot of big numbers and a lot of decimals, I will say, to try to throw people off. But yeah, otherwise I thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of chill. Well, I had fun, but that's the paper 1's done. I will probably have to do the paper 2's, but for now, yeah, I had fun.